You are now rocking with the hottest boxing podcast in the land. True Media Boxing Radio with your host, Coach Malachi Williams.
True.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up, family? This is our boy, Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. True Media Podcast. We back up in this BI, man. Salute to the family, man. Peace to everybody in the chat. Another day. Happy Tuesday. As a matter of fact, it was something I was supposed to do. Make sure I remember to do this, because I don't do this here. This is going to be kind of crazy. Yes. Peace to everybody, man. Peace to the family, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all know what it is. Another day. Another day in paradise. Another day at the office in the world of boxing. You get what I'm saying? This shit, in the sport of boxing, nothing surprises me anymore. I know I've learned so much just by the people who I know in the business and all of the people who I talk to and speak to and all that stuff there. And, the different matchmakers, the different managers, the different, matchmakers, managers, promoters, stuff like that, man. Limousine drivers, fighters. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've learned a lot. So, especially about just, you have real politics and you have politics. In boxing, there is politics. And what I mean by that is, sanctioning bodies, promotional companies, TV networks, all of the above. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And sometimes, things are simple. Sometimes things are as simple as, the way you perceived it, that's what it is. And then sometimes things are not as simple as the way you perceive it, that's what it is. So we're going to break this shit down like a 57 Chevy, for sure.
True.
57 Chevy. 5-7. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Shout out to Leo. Leo from the 80s. Salute to you, fam. Shout out to Marky Vion. Salute. Shout out to Mika Lovem. Mika, what's going on, sis? My brother, Schoolo X-Man, Daniel Agnew. On Savage Surge, what Savage Surge say? He said the Mexican monster got him running. He said the Mexican monster, he got him running, huh? Okay, all right. Shout out to Cheat. Salute to you, fam. That ain't gonna be funny. Shout out to Miss Black Panther. What's going on, sis? Jamie from New York. Superman flying through to save the day. Marcus King. Et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Once we get over 100 on YouTube, I will drop the. We'll give everybody a round of applause. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, y'all share this live show. This is gonna be a good one. I ain't playing with them. Y'all know me. I ain't playing with them. I ain't playing with them at all. You get what I'm saying? We ain't trying to be no friends. We ain't trying to be no homies, no partners, none of that. I don't want no favors from them. I'm good. They ain't got nothing I motherfucking want. You get what I'm saying? Fuck them.
To this day.
Really though.
But this ball been taking the easy matches, fighting other balls.
I don't give a fuck about the interview. I ain't trying to get no close relationships with them because I know people who know them. So if I know people who know them, I don't need a relationship with the dude, with the guy. I just know people who know him, and then I talk to them, and they'll tell me about it. Then I talk to a couple of people who know these fools, know how they operate and work, who deal directly with them, meaning managers that I talk to all the time, managers, local promoters, and shit. What I said, managers. Oh yeah, and trainers that I talk to all the time. So I already know what the deal is. Fuck them. You get what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and do this though. Let me go ahead and blow this up. We have over 100. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Shout out to my sister, the lovely Miss Lisa Bales. How you doing? How you doing, Lisa? Shout out to my sister, Lisa Bales. Have a lot of love for Lisa. Shout out to CJ from the 504. Salute to you, fam. Salute to you, fam. It is what it is. Listen, shout out to Joseman. What's that, Joseman? Salute to you. He said the Ecuadorian cheeseburger is a fraud. Y'all feeling some type of way, huh? You know what? Hey, one person in this chat say the Mexican monster got him running. Another person in the other chat say the Ecuadorian cheeseburger is a fraud. Okay, all right. So everybody feeling some type of way. Okay, all right, cool. I'm taking a different approach. I'm taking a different approach on this one. This one here, I'm taking a different approach. Hey, man, shout out to my brother Ali, man. Shout out to my brother Ali. I'm taking a different approach on this one. This one here, I'm over the target on this one. I'm over the target on this one. This one here, I'm over the target. You know what I mean? We got the enemy in sight. We got the Black Hawk helicopter. Or we got the B-52 bomber. We got the enemy in sight. The satellite says the target is right here. We finna drop this neutron bomb on his head. True. Yeah, that's what we finna do. That's what we finna piss some people off. I don't give a damn. Y'all know I am the prince of pissing people off. I really don't give a damn. Coach ain't down with none of these niggas. When I say niggas, I'm talking about WBC, Sampson Lewkowicz, the establishment. I'm not down with the establishment. I give 25 fucks about the establishment. I will shit, piss, vomit, and wipe my ass with the establishment every chance I get. You want to know why? The motherfuckers ain't paying me. Fuck them. I have no incentive. To praise them. They can eat a mean one for all I care.
Nigga, please.
It is what it is. Let's get into the show. Let the desecration and defecation begin. Let's see. Shout out to Vic, Superman, Mr. T, John, Savage Surge. Let's see. This is Boxing. Salute, fam. Shout out to This is Boxing. D-Town Funk. D-Town, what's going on, brother? G5 from the Bronx. The Bronx is in the building. We gonna respect the Bronx. Listen, man. Shout out to Rod. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Rod. Shout out to Jonathan. He said, y'all seen Rolly cook Crawford on Fight Hype? Rolly Romero can't cook nobody. Listen, let me ask you a question. How can a retard with some gloves that drives around the city in a Bugatti and eat crayons can cook somebody who's way more successful than him and richer than him? Think about that. Rolly Romero is the joke of boxing. He's slow. Think that's obvious. He was in SLD class, slow learner disability class. How can a retard who wipe his mouth, bend his wrist, and wipe his mouth, the corner of his mouth like that, you know what I mean? Talking about I'm a star. How can he cook anybody? Literally. Anyways. Lord have mercy. Shit. Did Dmitry Bivol duck David Benavidez? Question. As you all know, the Undisputed Champion, Dmitry Bivol, has vacated the WBC belt to face Artur Beterbiev in a trilogy. That news dropped yesterday. This was a move that pretty much everyone knew about, including Sampson Lewkowicz and the WBC, better known as We Be Crooks. Dmitry Bivol's team sent a letter to Sulaiman stating that Bivol has been focused on has been forced to relinquish the WBC title. Everyone knows that we have a commitment to a third party or to a third bout with Artur Beterbiev. Interesting. And it's funny to me. It's real funny to me because, Tyson Fury, I got 1,000 examples. This is too easy. This is a layup. This is a layup in the finals. The Lakers are down by 2. It's 3 seconds left on the clock. Shaq throws the ball from one end to the other end to Kobe while he's under the rim. And then as soon as Kobe touched the ball, the clock is counting 3, 2, 1. Kobe hits the layup, and the Lakers win by 1.
True.
This is too easy. I need something a lot more difficult. Everyone knows that we're committed to a third bout with Artur Beterbiev. This is what's in the letter. He said, we plan on honoring that commitment. In addition, we are dismayed at the WBC's inability to adhere to the rotation system set up years ago. Mauricio Sulaiman knows that the IBF has claimed to be the lead organization in rotation for the next bout. We got receipts. The WBC has chosen to skip the line. How can a sanctioning body skip the line? And if there's some kind of rule that they had in place years ago, apparently that rule ain't about shit. Because rules are like laws. Laws are only as good as the people who have the power to enforce them. A law without enforcement is not a law. You have anarchy in the land. And if no one is adhering to the law, then how solid was the law? Good question. The WBC has chosen to skip the line and force a purse bid for a fight they know that we can't currently honor. The WBC is not next in rotation. The IBF is. In May of 2023, this is what I looked up, Michael Eifert became the IBF mandatory in the light heavyweight division to fight for the title in 2023, May of 2023. David Benavidez became the mandatory for the WBC strap in the light heavyweight division when he beat Alexander Gazvik in June of 2024, a year later. As you can see, Benavidez isn't next in rotation. When David Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory, let's stop right there. See, one thing about me, right? I like to look. I like to call a spade a spade. I said, okay, let me see how we gonna do this shit. Let's see how we gonna do this shit here. Because recent history tells us that these sanctioning bodies are full of shit. But when it comes to We Be Crooks, better known as the WBC, probably one of the most crooked organizations in the history of boxing. Literally. Jose Sulaiman was a crook. He's dead and gone. And his son, Mauricio Sulaiman, is following his father's crookery ways. Back in the day, we used to call, before the internet, we used to call WBC We Be Crooks. Back in the day, they used to be controlled by Don King. Don King had a great relationship. Well, Don King had a great relationship with all the sanctioning bodies. WBC, IBL, whatever. It didn't matter. Don understood the game. Bob Arum had a good relationship with sanctioning bodies as well. This is how this works. There are no such thing as rules in boxing. Rules are subjective to the one who's paying the money. If you have an A-side fighter and you pay enough money to the referee or whatever the case may be, or the judges, fights that we know that everybody has seen and know for a fact that the other person that this guy won, fighter A won, they would give the fight to fighter B. Rules that referees follow in boxing, if a fighter get knocked down or this or that, take a knee or, just run out of the corner and, and go give his mama a kiss, take a selfie with the fans and come back in the ring. That's supposed to be disqualification. Yeah, with enough money, that referee just miraculously, didn't see what happened or he forgot or whatever. That's how this works. We're not going to sit here and play these crackhead games like boxing is this organized sport and people come together and these are the rules and this how it go. Boxing is full of shit. It's a crooked sport. The promoters are crooks. The promotional companies are crooks. And the sanctioning bodies are like the mafia. Mauricio Sulaiman is being one of the head mob bosses. This is what Coach Malachi is saying. I give 25 fucks about Fat Boy. I don't give a fuck about Mauricio Sulaiman, the WBC, their organization, or any of these sanctioning bodies. I don't give a fuck about none of them. I don't. IBL, WBA, WBO. But today we're talking about the WBC. It is what it is. And I damn so give 25 fucks about Sampson Lewkowicz. I don't give a fuck about Sampson. He looked like the devil. There's some crooked ass teeth in his mouth. There's something about him, that crooked ass smile, I just don't, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I ain't never met the nigga. Anyways. In May of 2023, Michael Efert became the IBF mandatory to fight for the title. David Benavidez became the mandatory, as I said before, in 2024 when he beat Alexander Gossip. As you can see, Benavidez isn't next in rotation. However, when David Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory for 3 years, not 1 year, not 2 years, but 3 years. Mauricio Sulaiman never forced Canelo to fight David, nor did Sampson. Mauricio Sulaiman didn't say, oh, well, we're going to skip the line, or, well, we are first in line. We're mandating this fight, just like they're mandating the Diego Pacheco and Mobili. They mandated that, just like they mandated William Cepeda and Shakur Stevenson. But when David Benavidez was right there at super middleweight, all of a sudden, Mauricio Sulaiman had David Benavidez fight. This man had 1 million intern fights. You're going to defend your WBC intern title. David Benavidez is very happy with the arrangement that we have over here. Do you guys remember those conversations? You remember he was on the Boxing Voice at different places? Well, David Benavidez is very happy with the way the WBC is running things. Every time you ask Sampson, hey man, look here, why y'all ain't pressing the WBC to doggone make Canelo fight David Benavidez or strip him of the title? Sampson to get up there with that crooked smile, them crooked ass, snake eyes and teeth. Yeah, we have a good relationship. We have a good relationship with the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman, and we have faith that the WBC will work things out and we will maybe eventually get that fight. And then they were talking about, well, oh man, you can't make. They were talking about, oh man, we can't make. You know what I mean? We can't make. We can't make Canelo fight David. Oh, you can't? But why you making doggone Diego Pacheco and Mobili fight? Why are you making William Cepeda and Shakur Stevenson fight? Why are you making Dmitry Bivol and David Benavidez fight? But when he was the mandatory for Canelo, all of a sudden you couldn't make him. So miss me with the bullshit. Let's continue. Sampson and Benavidez said that they can't force Canelo, and I remember this like it was yesterday. We can't force Canelo to fight them. Yet they're using the WBC to force Bivol to fight them now. They know damn well that he's bound to fight Beterbiev in a rubber match. And he's making a lot of money to fight Beterbiev in a rubber match. Literally. So we're not going to have this fake outrage and make it say, well, WBC doing the right thing. Bullshit. The WBC never does the right thing. They pick and choose when they want to do certain things. Doing the right thing is, look, David Benavidez, you supposed to force David Benavidez, Canelo to fight David Benavidez at 168. What was the right thing then? Where was the right thing when y'all was making the French fries belt and the Burger King belt and the PapaJohn.com belt and all this stuff there? And what was the right thing then? So don't tell me about the WBC doing the right thing. They never do the right thing. This is the most crooked organization probably in the history of boxing. Starting with the pappy, Jose, and the son, Mauricio. Gotta call a spade a spade. I don't give a fuck about these niggas. Fuck them. We team fucked the other side over here. You get what I'm saying? Anyways. Sampson and Mauricio are in cahoots together. And everybody knows it. And I'm gonna tell you who else was in cahoots too. Saul Canelo Alvarez and Team David Benavidez. I did a show not too long ago where I spoke about that. I said, man, everybody in on it together. Do y'all remember that show? I said, look, man, all these guys are in it together. Mauricio Sulaiman, Canelo, and all that stuff there. I told y'all they had an arrangement that they would not force Canelo to do anything. Mauricio Sulaiman knew what was going on. Sampson Lewkowicz knew what was going on, and David Benavidez knew what was going on. They running around acting, oh, man, you know what, Canelo don't want to fight me. Tell him to fight me then. We like, no. If you the mandatory like you say you is, why you supposed to tell Mauricio to doggone enforce that mandatory? You didn't do that. But yet you doing it to Bivol. You doing it to Shakur and Cepeda. You doing it to Diego Pacheco and Mabili. Notice how fast they did that. Notice how when it's certain fighters, they do stuff real quick. And in this case, they even jumped the rotation. I'm like, well, if it's a rule and IBS supposed to be the number one guy and WBC was able to jump them, then apparently that ain't no rule. Apparently the WBC is the head of all of the sanctioning bodies. Because the WBC seems to be the most powerful sanctioning body out of the other three. The WBO, the IBF, and the WBA, for some reason, appears to be inferior when it comes to the WBC. You know, I just want to throw that out there. Anyways. As I said before, these guys are in cahoots together. Mauricio has made David an email champ as a gift for not forcing Canelo to fight David Benavidez at super middleweight. That's what this is all about.
True.
Well, you know, I know I can make Canelo, you know, I don't want to lose Canelo, you know, as a client or customer because I got a dumbass paying me all of these sanctioning fees just to hold my belt, the prestigious WBC belt. So, David, just bear with me, be patient with me. I promise you, I will find some way for you to get a belt. I tell you what, why don't you just move up to light heavyweight? And I don't like those Russian guys anyways. And I promise you that I will get you the WBC belt. Just move up there, please, because I don't want to lose Canelo. And you know, and I'm gonna make it up to you.
True.
I know what it is. Listen, I don't give a fuck what a nigga say. I know what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get convinced from nobody. It ain't nothing to argue, though. I've been studying this situation right here for a while. I know what's going on. Anyways. David Benavidez is now the new email champ as a gift to him from Mauricio Sulaiman for not forcing Canelo to fight David at super middleweight. This is the same Sulaiman who refused to sanction Beterbiev and Bivol back in 2023. Do you guys remember that? If it weren't for Turki Al-Sheikh, and I don't know him neither, boxing fans would never have gotten the Undisputed light heavyweight bout. How do I know? This is how I know. David Benavidez fans say that Benavidez is such a terrifying menace that Bivol, who's fighting Beterbiev 3 times, that Bivol is too afraid to fight Benavidez. David Benavidez is a Mexican monster. You know, he's not like the average human. Mike Tyson was on shrooms and was drunk when he could name the nickname with that name, and everybody terrified of him. That's what his fans say. It sounds good. But let's blow this narrative up very quickly. I don't fault Dmitry Bivol for dropping the WBC belt. I'm going to tell you why. I don't blame David Benavidez for becoming the newly email crowned champion neither. So I don't have anything bad to say about Dmitry Bivol. I don't have anything bad to say about David Benavidez. David Benavidez was a part of a plan, and he knew what was going on all along, and he went along with it. Let me tell you something. Nothing just happens. It's all planned and by design. David Benavidez knew 3 years ago, that he was never going to fight Canelo, and the sanctioning body, WBC, was not going to mandate him to fight, was not going to force a purse bid for him to fight Canelo. They knew that already. He knew that. So he went along with the charade. He went on these interviews lying, acting like he don't know what's going on, but David Benavidez knew exactly what's going on. See, this what happened, right? When some of these fighters, when they get on these interviews, the interviewer don't ask the right questions. Sometimes you may interview a fighter, or interview a representative of that, of that fighter or that organization, and they tell you before the interview, they'll tell you, hey, look here, man, don't be asking me this question, don't ask me that question. So some of these interviews, sometimes there's already an arrangement on what to ask them and what not to ask them, because the interviewer don't want to lose access to these chumps in boxing. Coach Malachi don't give a damn about the access. Hey, shout out to my main man Lou Peterson. Coach Malachi don't give a damn about the access. Ain't none of these niggas paying me. Well, I need the access for views, because when I get certain people on, it adds credibility to me, so that's the payment. And then when they come on and I drop a video, people can look at me as an authority in the sport of boxing, and I can get more views. Coach Malachi don't care nothing about that. That's why them niggas, that's why they won't come over here. Because they come over here, I'm going to ask the real questions. It ain't but really one interviewer that really, that I know that really, he don't hold back, and that's Ness. Ness asks damn good questions. He asks real good. I'm talking about challenging questions. But anyways, and he's not the only one, but he the one that comes to mind. Oh yeah, shout out to my main man Nigel from Cigar Talk. Nigel from Cigar Talk. I got a lot of love for that dude. That dude right there, he asks some damn good questions too. But as I said before, I do not blame David Benavidez for becoming the newly crowned email champ. I blame Sampson Lewkowicz and Mauricio Sulaiman. Here's why. In 2023, Mauricio Sulaiman denied Bivol the right to fight Beterbiev for the undisputed title because of the war with Ukraine and Russia. What the hell did that have to do with Beterbiev and Bivol? Absolutely nothing. A Mexican sanctioning body headed by a crook decided not to allow Beterbiev and Bivol to fight for Undisputed because Mauricio sided with Ukraine on some American proxy war BS. Well, if you guys fight, you can fight each other, but my belt is not going to be on the line. You're not going to be able to use my belt. The same belt that the Russian Beterbiev was paying sanctioning bodies on. So let me get this straight. I'm not sanctioning bodies, paying sanctioning fees on. So let me get this straight. You're going to make a belt out of thin air. I fight to win your belt. I pay you sanctioning fees for this belt. And then on top of that, you're going to tell me that I can't put this same belt up that I'm paying you to hold or to use so I can fight this guy to become undisputed and to make history. Last time I checked, you ain't no politician. You ain't the one making the decision. You wasn't a part of the Biden administration. Well, because of the war that's going on with Russia and Ukraine, why the fuck you care? You from Mexico. You Mexican. When has a Mexican gave a damn about what's going on in European affairs? Well, what does that have to do with boxing? These are decisions that was made by politicians. Anyways, Lord have mercy, boy. Ooh, Lord. Anyways. Mauricio Sulaiman sided with that bullshit. That was 2 years ago. War and national politics have nothing to do with boxing. Mauricio wants that same Russian fighter to honor his fake-ass mandate. Do you see what's going on here? Sampson Lewkowicz and Mauricio Sulaiman are working together to undermine two Russian fighters, just like Sulaiman did back in 2023 when they wanted to fight for Undisputed then. The only reason we got that fight, Turk Al-Sheikh came into play. Mauricio tucked his tail, and then we got that fight. Remember, I got the article. Not only that, I'm gonna show you the article. Anyways, the WBC is a cricket organization. Y'all let Mauricio Sulaiman know that Coach Malachi, Too Many Podcast said that. Tell him I said fuck him. And fuck Sampson also. I don't give a fuck about the interview. Fuck both of you motherfuckers. Eat a big one. Okay? True. The WBC is a cricket organization and everybody knows it. It's always has been crooked. The WBC is a shit-eater organization that picks and chooses when it wants to enforce its own rules. Dmitry Bivol, in my opinion, did the right thing by dropping that belt. You say he ducked? You can say that. I ain't got no problem with none of that. You want to say he ducked? I don't care. I'm not here to even to argue the semantics of any of that stuff. Y'all say what you want to say, run with it. I don't care. You know what I mean? My aim is not your opinions on who ducked who and who didn't duck who. You know, it is what it is. That's not my aim. I'm aiming at bigger fish. Bivol did the right thing by dropping that belt, in my opinion. In 2025, I can honestly say that belts don't matter today. When I heard Floyd Mayweather say that years ago, I thought he was tripping. I was the main one on this show arguing, oh man, everybody talking about belts don't matter. That's the problem. The belts do matter. Guess what? I was wrong. True. When Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia said that belts don't matter, I thought they were tripping as well. But I was wrong. Historically, I've always looked at the belts when we had real fighters like Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Hagler, Roberto Duran, James Lifestyle Tony, Pernell Whitaker, Muhammad Ali, etc., Rocky Marciano, etc., and others, right? I've always looked at it from a historical standpoint. So when I made the argument that belts do matter, I'm making the argument from a historical standpoint for the great fighters that I seen fight for these belts and became champions, and they was looked upon, you know, with prestige in society because they was universally recognized as the champion of the world because they had the belt. Those days are done. True. That's not the same today. It's not the same today. Right? Now that the belts are genuinely worthless, fighters like Tank Davis, Canelo Alvarez, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, A New Way to Monster, Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney, and others are bigger than the belts. I don't know nobody who gonna say, you know what, man? Okay, let's say Tank fights Shakur Stevenson. And, you know, and let's say Tank dropped the WBA belt and Shakur dropped the WBC belt. Ain't nobody gonna say, man, I ain't gonna watch that fight, man, because doggone Tank ain't got no belt no more. And Shakur ain't got no belt no more. No, you want to see the fight. The fighter is greater than the belt. The fighter makes the belt. The belt don't make the fighter. That's what the sanctioning bodies trick these niggas on in today's time. Yeah, man, the belt, the prestigious WBC belt. There's nothing prestigious about the WBC belt. Hell, I got one right there. It can't be too prestigious. I got one right there. You can go on Amazon and buy your WBC belt right now. How the hell is it prestigious? True. My next door neighbor got one. My homeboy Hobo Sam got one. Shouty Big Nets got one. Poach Out Willie got one. My Mexican homeboy Chico Stick got one. Anyways. Let's go. As Floyd Mayweather once said, why pay a sanctioning body a percentage for wearing their belt? Let David Benavidez defend his email title against another in-house PBC fighter, because that's exactly what's going to happen. As for Dmitry Bivol, he did the right thing. Why? Why fight David Benavidez for peanuts? Because you know he ain't going to get paid nothing over there. We know that, right? Why fight David Benavidez for peanuts when you're fighting Artur Beterbiev for 8 figures? And my thing is, okay, y'all could have waited because they finna have this fight in June. David Benavidez waited for 3 years. And he was a mandatory for 3 years to fight Canelo. And guess what? Mauricio Sulaiman went talking about something. Oh, we're going to enforce our rules and the rules of the rules. And Canelo, you have a mandatory that's been here for 3 years and you're going to have to defend the title against him. He wasn't saying none of that. So for all y'all, Mauricio Sulaiman did the right thing. Bullshit. He owed that nigga David Benavidez a favor. Him and Sampson. He owed them a favor because all of them was a part of the creating the narrative. They said, well, Canelo ducked them, this and that. All of them was on the same team. And now you're rewarding him for fighting all of these defending the intern WBC belt at super middleweight, and then you don't have 2 fights at light heavyweight. So this is your reward for him. Anyway, let's continue. Dmitry Bivol won that belt 2 months ago. He had that belt 2 months. Dmitry Bivol won that belt 2 months ago, and he's forced to vacate. The IBF did the same thing to Terrence Crawford after he beat Errol Spence. Crawford had the belt for under 3 months when the IBF stripped him of the belt, knowing damn well that he had a rematch clause to fight Spence. Spence activated the rematch clause, waited the 6 months to the end of the rematch clause, and then decided that he ain't going to fight Terrence Crawford because he needed to have cataract surgery. Y'all remember that? How did the WBC skip the IBF in the mandatory rotation to force a purse bid? Crookery. That's how. The WBC stands for We Be Crooks for a reason. Let's give everybody in the chat a round of applause. I'm not here again. I don't have any issues with David Benavidez. I don't have any issues with Dmitry Bivol. My target, and my aim is at Sampson, Lewkowicz, and Mauricio Sulaiman. Yeah. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. You get what I'm saying? So, again, I was one of those people who I was very upset when I heard Tank Davis say belts don't matter. When Ryan Garcia say belts don't matter. I was very upset when they said that, when Floyd Mayweather said it. But then guess what? Now that I've gotten out of my feelings and I got a chance to really analyze it, the belts don't have the significance today that it had yesterday. I'm looking at it from a historical standpoint. Well, in 2025, historical means nothing. As I said before, rules and laws are only as good as the power to enforce them. You're going to have to explain to me. Forget anything else. You're going to have to explain to me. How are you? Well, I did the right thing. He was the mandatory. No, one, you skip the IBF. But fuck the IBF. If the IBF allowed you to skip them, then that tells me that the WBC is the head honcho when it comes to all of the sanctioning bodies. So I'm past that. We ought to know what time that is. Well, we're going to make the mandatory. We're going to do this. This is the right thing to do. Why you didn't do it when David Benavidez at 168? Lord, Hammer, he asked me a tough question. Oh, yeah, Lord, shit, oh, my God. Oh, God, I'm not blind by my rules. Damn, this nigga asked me a tough question. I ain't never coming back over here no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't do it when he was at 168? I'm just asking a question. That's a legitimate question. If you so worried and so, we're enforcing our rules and that's the thing to be, why you didn't do it at 168? The so-called Mexican monster was the mandatory for 3 years. And you miraculously did not apply your rule to Canelo. As I said before, if they did not have a double standard, they would not have a standard at all. True. Oh, I got receipt. Let's go. Let's go. No, let's go. Let's slide over here a little bit. Now, remember I told you. This fool, he ain't never gave a damn about the Russians. Tell her that, right? He never gave a damn about the Russians, right? Because the Russian fighters, they don't make big money. They're not a big draw, and stuff like that. So he never really gave a damn about them. But let's go. Let's go over here right quick. Let me go ahead and do this here. Right here, let me pull this up here, man. I ain't shit. This hoe ass nigga, Mauricio Sulaiman. He's a real hoe. This back in May 2nd, 2023. The WBC says Dmitry Bivol is ineligible to win their belt due to ongoing sanctions. So he's saying that because America has sanctions against Russia, that he's not going to allow Dmitry Bivol to fight for the WBC title, which was held by Artur Beterbiev at that time, if I'm not mistaken. What the fuck does that have to do with two fighters? Guess what? Russia still have sanctions on them and Russia and Ukraine is still fighting, guess what though? All of a sudden, oh yeah, man, y'all can fight each other for undisputed. And not only that, oh yeah, I'm gonna force a mandatory for you to defend the belt. But wait a minute, just 2 years ago, you said that, because of ongoing sanctions that America have on Russia, the same sanctions that they have today. He can't fight for the belt. What happened? Shout out to JC. Oh, no. Again, I ain't got no issue with Bivol or Beterbiev. With Bivol, Beterbiev, or Dave Benavidez. I'm looking past them. Them small fish. Them pawns on the board. Them pawns on the board. Nah, we going at the head of the snake. We going at the head of the snake. The shit eaters of boxing, right? Anyway, let's go. WBC said Dmitry Bivol is ineligible to win their belt due to ongoing sanctions. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is rippling effects in the boxing world. Why is that? Guess what? Is Russia and Ukraine still fighting each other? Is Russia and Ukraine still in war? Why 2 years ago it had its effects on the boxing world, but 2 years later, all the boxing world, the effects are gone? That was justification to keep them dudes from fighting to become undisputed. That's all that was. Anyway, let's go. This how the WBC did Dmitry Bivol 2 years ago. So why should he even keep that shit-eating ass belt? Dog, I tried to become undisputed 2 years ago. Whether I won or lost, you denied me the right to fight for it. So now you want me to goddamn move when you want me to move when you want me to move. No, fuck that. The WBC been shitting on Artur Beterbiev and on Bivol for years. Fuck them. Give him back that shit-eating ass belt. Anyways, even Dmitry Bivol, he said even if Dmitry Bivol faces Beterbiev, he won't get a shot at becoming undisputed. This is 2 years ago. While many boxing fans have been keeping their fingers crossed for an undisputed light heavyweight title unification bout between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, the stakes won't be quite as high as anticipated after WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman stated that Bivol isn't eligible to win their world title. So my question is this here. If he ain't eligible to win your world title, the world title that he just won from Beterbiev, then he ain't eligible to listen to what the fuck you got to say when it come to your belt. No, nigga, I just had this belt for 2 months. You don't tell me I need to go into a purse bid and negotiate with Benavidez after only having the belt for 2 months, and you let Canelo have the belt for 10 years, and Dave Benavidez was the mandatory for 3 of those 10 years, and you weren't doing none of that. True. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Let's go. All right. The WBC has initiated ongoing sanctions against Russia and Belarus fighters based upon Russia's war in Ukraine. And in this instance, as far from the battlefield, Bivol sort of becomes collateral damage. Make this make sense. If Russia have the same sanctions that they had 2 years ago against them, and they still have the war going on with Ukraine and Russia, why this is not your position in 2025, sir? Shout out to Moise. This absolutely sports directed. I guess they're trying to say this absolutely affects the sport or something like that. There is no boxing in Ukraine because of the invasion. So as long as there is no boxing in Ukraine, we cannot simply overlook and state that there's boxing in Russia or Belarus from the WBC. This don't even make no sense. Both of these guys fight in America. Both of these guys, one live in Canada and the other one live in California. What does this have to do with anything? So this is the jibber jabber, the gibberish that Mauricio Sulaiman said 2 years ago. Despite this, however, Sulaiman says fighters are able to request a review of their specific cases. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
But that has not received any communication from Bivol's team that he would like to do so. Beterbiev, while Russian by birth, has lived the past 15 years in Canada and maintains a Canadian passport. That is why the WBC took a specific look at Beterbiev and decided to have that as consideration. We have had a few other requests. The world believes in peace, and it is very unfortunate to see what is happening in that part of the world. He said the world believe in peace, huh? The world believe in peace. Okay, Mauricio Sulaiman, this is why I bust your ass at. You got the Mexican cartel chopping niggas' heads off in Mexico right now. They got a war going on. They got a battle going on. The cartels in Mexico are fighting, killing, doing everything in their power, in order to get drugs in America and stuff like that. Donald Trump has shut down the border. Ain't nobody come across the border no goddamn more. We shut that shit down. And they have designated the Mexican cartel as a terrorist, as a domestic terrorist. Guess what? You ain't saying, well, what we're gonna do is the Mexicans, since the Mexican cartel is designated as a terrorist organization by America, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna allow any Mexican fighters who have a WBC belt to defend the title because of the political situation that's going on with America and Mexico at the moment as it relates to the cartel. True. Oh no. You gotta wake up early in the morning to get me with this one. Yeah, you got to wake up early in the morning to get me, boy. I ain't got but a GED, but I got a master's degree in common sense. It remains to be seen where this actually goes in the near future. We know where it went at. Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev have been fighting for Undisputed, and they're fighting again for the third time. But with Bivol mostly expected to rematch Canelo after this weekend's fight, which he didn't. They didn't rematch each other. So we'll see what's up. Hey, this is Boston say, don't give him any ideas, coach. Hey, listen, this is Boston. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy. I'm showing y'all the play. This ain't got nothing to do with David Benavidez. This ain't got nothing to do with Beterbiev. With Bivol. I'm showing you the play. The play is, this was already set up by design. I showed you the hypocrisy just in one article. If two countries are going to war with each other, what does that have to do with the fighters? And that same country have sanctions on them, and they still at war with the Ukraine. Shout out to Jared. Jared, what's going on, fam? That's the way I see it. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I'm telling y'all, everybody is in on the shenanigans. The WBC, as a record label staff and as a crew and a sanctioning body, is probably the most cricket sanctioning organization on the planet. Mauricio Sulaiman is the boss of that cricket organization. That's what Coach Malachi is saying. I don't care nothing about the WBC, IBF, WBO, WB. I don't care about none of them. I'm going to call it like I called it. I don't care nothing about the interview. I don't need your favors. I'm good. We good on my side of town. I'm going to call it like I see it. No other podcast going to do this in boxing. Because they got to be nice to these guys to get the interviews. I don't have no skin in the game as it relates to that. So I'm going to tell it like a TI is. I'll be the one I take the shots because I can handle them, deflect them very well. I'm good at what I do. Have no problem with it. Want all the smoke, okay? True. Anyways, let's get to the super chats. Shout out to B Norman. Shout out to B Norman, man. Hey, okay. For becoming a member, man. Salute to my brother, man. B Norman, man. I'm gonna hit you up later. Hey, shout out to Deal. Shout out to Deal 87. Hey, okay. Dropping out quarter of a dub. He said that WBC light heavyweight belt had a 17-year run from champ to champ. Dawson, Pascal, B-Hop, Stevenson, Govic, Beterbiev, Bivol, all for it to get emailed to David. Oh, man. Anyways, hey, shout out to Domo. Hey, okay. Salute fam, dropping that quarter of a dub. He says fight has been in Vegas. only right after leaving Saudi early while demanding 55-45 split. We know what they is, coach. Shout out to Lucius. Hey, okay. Dropping out $2 super chat. He said Mauricio still think he is a promoter. You know what? You might have a valid point, Lucius. Shout out to Donald Banks. Hey, okay. Dropping out quarter of a dub. He said if Beterbiev beats Bivol, you know Beterbiev gonna want Benavidez smoke and get that belt back. And I can't wait to see the excuses on that fight. Yeah, you know, I mean, what I'm trying to show you, Donald, is this. I'm showing you the politics of this stuff. It's very easy for us to look at the fighters and say this guy ducking this person and he ain't doing this and he ain't doing that. And in some cases, that there is some validity to that, right? But, bro, I'm showing y'all the blatant lies and inconsistencies of this sanctioning body. The promoters, the sanctioning bodies, the managers, I mean, not all managers. You got some good managers out there. The fighter is the one that takes the fall for a lot of stuff. Because don't nobody want to really rip the promotional company or the sanctioning body because these people are perceived to be powerful in the sport and, you know, we got to get the interview and all that stuff there. I don't give a fuck about the interview. No, man, like this man is a shit eater, dog. He's a shit eater. Sampson and doggone Mauricio Sulaiman, they shit eaters. They rich shit eaters. They have power in the sport of boxing. They are powerful shit eaters when it come to boxing, but they still shit eaters. They lie. They pick and choose. These sanctioning body. I remember I had Rick Glaze on this show, and y'all know I rock with Rick, but I called him out on it. I said, Rick, is there any bribes that's been going on? I know. We were talking about how fighters get moved up in the ranks in the ranking system and with the sanctioning bodies. I said, well, you know, we don't see it with the IBL president. Was that the IBL president? Yeah, the IBL president years ago in the 90s had got sued. Well, no, he got brought up on federal charges. He got found guilty and did some time because he didn't want to snitch. How they were taking bribes. They had this guy on camera in a hotel room. An informant set him up taking bribes to have certain fighters moved up the ranking system. I asked Rick Glazer that. He told us, no, that's not how it works. Now, of course, Rick, you're not going to tell me that. Rick's my guy. But guess what? Rick lied to me. Now, he may say, don't go online and say I lied to you, you're my friend and all that stuff there. Well, put it this way. I'll say this. I'll say Rick was disingenuous. Because ain't nobody going to motherfucking tell me that ain't how it go. There's no honor and integrity with the sanctioning bodies. I can take Flex BK, Green Eyes P, Daniel Agnew right now. Go to the Cricket WBC, the IBF, the WBA, WBO, whatever the case may be, drop them by $15, $20, a case of Corona, a 6-pack of Slick Smart Liquor Bull, and I can get y'all put in the top 15 right now. True. Their rules and bylaws mean nothing. It's just there for formality. It means nothing. If it meant something, they would equally apply their rules and laws to every fighter. They pick and choose when they want to apply laws. They'll allow certain fighters, they can go years without defending the belt. But then a fighter with a lesser name, he got to defend the belt as soon as he get it. Man, I just won the belt yesterday. Yeah, dog, we going to purse bid tomorrow. True. Goddamn, dog, but I just won this. You let what's her name hold the belt for 3 years. He had to defend that title for 3 years. Yeah, man, but you know, now see what he is now. See what happened was, no, he had it for 3 years, but you understand, see, the politics of the situation, well, the days have changed now. You get what I'm saying then? You know, well, why you didn't let the fight happen with Bivol and Beterbiev 2 years ago? Well, see, because Russia, what they did to Ukraine, and you know, America, you know, we had put sanctions on them. What you mean we? You from Mexico. You ain't American, you Mexican. Yeah, but see what happened. You wasn't a part of the Biden administration. Nah, see what we did was, we don't like what they did. And now what does that have to do with Beterbiev and Bivol? Well, see, well, both of them are from Russia, but see where he is. See, Beterbiev lives in Canada now, and then Bivol, he was supposed to reach out to us to get us to overlook his case. So I say, okay, well, let me ask you a question, Mauricio. Is Russia still at war with Ukraine? Yeah. Does Russia still have sanctions against them by America? Yeah. So what changed? That different. True. See, nobody is looking at it from that point of view. No other podcast in boxing that you're going to go to that they going to point this out like I'm going to point it out. This is what's going on. Sampson and Mauricio had an agreement. This is why Canelo Alvarez was never forced to fight David Benavidez. Notice they didn't have to go to no purse bid. Notice it wasn't no deadline. It was none of that. Benavidez and his camp had an agreement with Mauricio Sulaiman, and they let it ride. Now, they was going to come on camera and fake like they were trying to, yeah, man, I don't know why Canelo don't want to fight me and why he's ducking me, this and that. They were using Canelo, and this is what went on. Now, am I saying that Canelo did not want to fight David Benavidez? No, I ain't saying that. Canelo didn't want to fight him. But I'm telling y'all why he didn't have to fight him. Explain to me how a guy could be a mandatory to fight for the WBC title at 168 for 3 years. But then he's a mandatory to fight for the WBC title, for a title that a guy only had for 2 months. Phone line's not open, so whoever called in the show, the phone lines are not open. When I drop the phone lines, you can call the show. Anyways, before we get into the show, we got to say all praises due to the Most High, the Most Exalted, the greatest human being on the planet Earth. That's a crook as well, Mr. Al Heyman.
Well, I guess I got to be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me?
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name,
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
This shit too easy. This shit like taking candy from a baby. You did?
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. All 3 of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
See, man, listen, somebody got to have the balls to call a spade a spade. Again, Coach Malachi, I'm not connected with any of these guys. I'm not connected with any promoters in boxing. I'm not connected with any managers in boxing. I'm not connected with any sanctioning bodies in boxing. I'm not. None of them niggas pay me, so I don't give a fuck about none of them. I got the nuts to say what these other niggas don't want to say. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, it is what it is, man. And to Mauricio Sulaiman and Sampson Lewkowicz, fuck you as a record label staff and as a crew. Because I'm not mad at David Benavidez. David Benavidez just went along with the plan. He's a pawn in this. I'm not mad at Dmitry Bivol. Dmitry Bivol finna go get him another bag to fight Beterbiev. My aim is at Sampson Lewkowicz in the WBC. Riley, get him.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck-mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Hey, man, shout out to my main man, Rick Timms, man. Rick, what's going on, baby boy? What's going on, brother? Shout out to the Undisputed Talk, Christopher, salute, G5 from the Bronx, my brother B. Norman Sr. Shout out to James Lee. James Lee, salute. You know what? Jay, you know what, fam? I remember James Lee came on this show, and he said that the belts don't matter, and me and him had a disagreement on that, and I was kind of upset and all that stuff there. And now that I sit back and think about it, fam, you were right. I was wrong. I owe you an apology, brother. I owe you an apology. Because I look at it, because shout out to Damien. I always look at the belts from a historical standpoint. And you know, when I talk about the belts, I talk about the old heads. I talk about the old heads. Because it had more historical value and meaning at that time. So, but in today's time, these sanctioning bodies, whatever value or meaning that they had, it don't mean nothing. This thing's so watered down, dog. Tank Davis is bigger than the WBA belt. I don't even know why he holding that shit. The fighters, the top fighters like Tank, Canelo, Crawford, Errol Spence, Tyson Fury, Usyk, stuff like that, Joshua, like, they bigger than the belts. A new way. The only way the belts have value, the fighters have to look at it as something valuable. The reason why the fighters look at the belts as something valuable, because it symbolizes greatness. It's like a basketball team playing basketball, and then the ultimate goal is to win the championship. So when they beat the number one team in the West, or the number one team in the East, in the championship, which is called the finals, they hold the trophy up. Because the trophy symbolizes greatness. It's a symbol. It's symbolism. It symbolizes, I beat all the other teams to get here to earn this trophy. It was something that was to be proud of. Boxing is not like that anymore. I did not want to accept that. The belt don't symbolize shit. True. The belt don't symbolize nothing. WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, they don't symbolize nothing. Hey, shout out to Mr. G4L. Salute, fam. Shout out to the Prince. And then check this out. The Prince, you said it right. But it's only one trophy, coach. Boxing got 25 belts. The WBC got about what? 20 belts? What we got? We got the iPhone 16 WBC title. We got the hog head cheese title. We got the she block. We got the she block title. That's for hoe niggas. If you's a hoe nigga, you deserve a she block belt. You got the she block belt. They got the PapaJohn.com belt. They got the WBC Goonies belt. You know, they got the WBC butter knife belt. They got the French fries belt. What happened to the French fries belt? Oh, I forgot all about that belt. What happened to the French fries belt? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember they came out the French fries belt? They created that belt for Canelo. When Canelo was at middleweight. Y'all remember that? They created a belt for Canelo called the French fries belt. I mean, sorry about that. The franchise belt. I called it the French fries belt. Then they created that same belt for Lomachenko at 135. Y'all remember that? You get what I'm saying? Listen, they had Teofimo running around hollering about he undisputed. When Devin Haney had the other belt. That's supposed to be the real belt. Then when Teofimo got beat by George Kambosos went to run around hollering about he undisputed. You know, you might be a king, but what's a king to an emperor? Remember that? We were telling Devin Haney. Devin Haney would tell him, he said, man, come on, man, quit the cap, man. Stop putting on the act, man. We know this ain't you. Oh, man. They got the Rick. Listen, man, they got the H-Town belt. Yeah, we got this H-Town right here, baby. They got the Tampa Bay belt. They got the Dallas, Texas belt. They got all these goddamn belts. Oh my God. Anyway, somebody got to do it, dog. Somebody got to do it. I'll be the bad guy. You know, I don't mind being the bad guy. It is what it is.
Who you think he is? DJ Quick?
No,
huh?
No, I ain't saying
Kid Capri?
I didn't say
that. Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. Well, you ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. You don't get nothing. You get what I give you. I got a contract between me and you that say you do what I tell you to do. Therefore, shut the fuck. Don't say nothing. Don't speak to me. Don't look at me.
I just want money. You know, I just said.
Blue, If I raise up, gonna be trouble. Trouble. I'm walking off.
Hey, you get what I'm saying though? Hold on. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. Let's run the speed test on my internet right quick. Run the speed test on my internet right quick, man. My browser be tripping sometimes, so I might have to. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. I'm just, bro, like we just blow this whole thing up. We just blow this whole thing up within 45 minutes. This was too easy. So it is what it is. Shout out to the tender runners and PYTs and the honey dips. And you know, since we did fight for integration for black men to marry white women and white women to marry black men, you know what I mean? We did that. We marched for that. Got bit by dogs and water hoses sicked on us for integration. Shout out to the snow bunny.
See her eyes shine, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dove of cream. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you move, stepping out, from out of control. Snow bunny, moving on the bar. Everything's alright. Got that smooth so feel. No, that's dancing in the lawn. With my snow bunny love. Been party by the night. See her eyes shine. She's my snow bunny, please. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dove of cream. Talk to my nose, this lover's got it so raw. Make you move, stepping out, from out of control.
Sorry about that, y'all. My bad. I'm sitting there tripping, man. My dog on my browser tripping. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to have to let me shut my browser down right quick and then reopen everything. Let me do that. Let me shut my browser down right quick and reopen everything. And y'all bear with me one moment. Let me restart. Don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna restart everything right quick, and we're gonna be Gucci. All right, I am back. I just had to restart my browser right quick. Y'all should be able to hear me right now. Turn this up. All right, cool. Y'all had to restart. I had to restart my browser. My browser started freezing up and all that stuff there, and I just can't do a show. I can't do a show with the browser freezing up, and I can't do a show like that. So it is what it is. Let me get rid of that right quick. Let me turn down some of these things. I'm gonna get rid of this article right here. I think again, I got a very, very powerful computer in my I've been having issues with both browsers, the Explorer and the Chrome, and my internet's sitting on this strong. Like I'm running my up speed over 400 and my down speed over 400. So it's good on that tip. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me get ready to drop these phone lines. Y'all, give me your opinion on everything that's going on. Just give me your opinion. I really do want to hear what y'all got to say about it. Let's get it.
You want to talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. Trying to make sure I ain't got no more unnecessary windows open that I don't want open. Let me see. Hold on. What is this? Is this, I think this is something I saw from Ring Guy Q. Oh, hold on. Yeah, you know what? I got a whole bunch of shit I want to show y'all. Damn. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of shit I want to show y'all. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of shit I want to show y'all. Damn. Caller, what's your name when you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's Jerry.
Jerry, be more. Talk to me.
All right, baby. Yeah, I want to talk some shit. Bivol fighting Beterbiev. Me personally, I have Bivol winning both those fights against Beterbiev. I actually thought the second one was closer than the first, but I have Bivol winning both. However, it was scored one for Beterbiev, one for Bivol. A trilogy, ain't nothing abnormal there. And if the money's more, it's a no-brainer for Bivol. I don't really think Bivol ducking Benavidez, but let's be honest, David Benavidez is a ducked fighter. He certainly ain't the first, and he certainly won't be the last. He's just a duck fighter, and his affiliation with the PBC doesn't make it any easier. They don't want him going over there fighting on turkey cards and getting those type of bags. That's the last thing they want for him. Just like Tank Davis. People think that these guys move the way they want, but they don't. They move just like in your one little skit that you play from the movie where he tells them, you work for me. You get nothing, you deserve nothing. Tank Davis ain't fighting over on those turkey cards because he don't want to. He's not doing it because he's not allowed to. And neither is David Benavidez. And so David is a duck fighter. That's just the bottom line. Canelo Alvarez ducked him. He fought everyone in the super middleweight division, Alvarez. He cleared it out, but he missed the top guy. How does that happen?
Yeah.
You're the undisputed champion. You missed the top guy. People talking about, well, he didn't fill out this paperwork. Come on, man, bullshit. This is the top guy. You refused to fight him. You said publicly you want $200 million to consider fighting this man. That's a duck. And I've never considered Canelo a duck, but he ducked Benavidez. It's not determined yet if Bivol will duck him. If Bivol wins this trilogy fight, let's see what he does. Because, Beterbiev, he's old, where if he was to win it and retire, you could get that. But Bivol, he'd probably still fight. And if he doesn't fight Benavidez, that's a duck. Benavidez is a problem. It's a problem for anyone. He ain't going to be easy for nobody. And lastly, Loma. People need to give up on Loma. Loma has gotten old. He's an old fighter at this point. And his country is at war. And for people who don't understand what that means, I read an article about 3-4 weeks ago where Loma had to go and pick his kids up from school because they was bombing right around the school. Americans in this generation, they don't know nothing about that. We've never really known nothing about that. But you got to realize, plus he's old. Bob Aaron said his back is bad and his shoulder is still bad. So Loma, to me, is effectively out of the picture, and people need to move on from him. He's not what he once was. He done gotten old, and there's a lot on his plate, and that's all she wrote about Loma. But anyway, that's what I got to say, Coach.
All right, shout out to Jared. Be more stand up. Salute, fam.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, say something about Loma. All right, let's see. All right. I'm sitting back. It is what it is, man. I'm sitting back, doggone, just, hold on. I just saw a video. Was it Oscar De La Hoya? Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya said something about that. Hold on. It was something else I was looking for. Something else I was looking for. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I just hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Let me see something. See, I don't know. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Yeah, I don't think y'all can hear it. No, y'all can't hear it because I can't hear it. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Let me. I'm gonna play it from my phone. I got a call coming in right now. I'm gonna play it from my phone. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Corey from Texas.
Corey from Texas. Talk to me.
Coach, when you go offline every day with your two browsers, do you hit the clear catch, clear history, and all that shit?
No,
you
I
might
don't.
have to just write all your try and do that every day, and you might have to just write all your passwords and shit for all your different businesses in like a notebook and put it in your like table, because that's what I had to learn how to do when I was doing like stuff online with like some of my stuff with legals and it's all type of like information that goes around when you visit a different website. So you might just have to clear history, clear cache, clear everything on a regular basis and just have all your shit like written in the notebook and log back in, or not even every day, just like once a week.
Okay.
You might just have to clear all that shit, browser history, cookies, and all that bullshit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I do need to do that. I have never done that, but you're right. I do need to do that. It's been acting up lately.
Clear that.
It's not my computer. I got a gaming computer. That's it.
No, it's not your computer. Yeah. Like no matter when you visit a website, Coach, like it's always information whenever you visit a website. Whenever you log in, it's always shit going down. You got a new MacBook or whatever, or that Apple, so that blocks a lot of people from hacking shit, but you still got to clear just because, you still connecting with the rest of the world whenever you go get on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right about that.
But as far as the subject today, Coach, I don't think Bivol's ducking. They know damn well how much money Turkey Al-Sheikh is paying him for that third fight. And why the hell would I take less money to fight David Benavidez? And I don't think, looking at Bivol's footwork, he's got great power. He's got great head movement. He has a phenomenal jab, in my opinion. There's no way in hell he would be scared to fight David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez is a great fighter, but I think technically and in a lot of areas he would be a lot slower than Bivol. But I think that shit is just like, they did that. They had great timing, and it was just like, yeah, let's do this purse bid now. And they knew damn well Bivol already had talked with Turkey Al-Sheikh before Ramadan, like, yeah, I'm going to come back over here and get this back. And I don't think he would get that bag against David Benavidez.
And see, this is the thing, right? Because you hear a lot about loyalty in boxing. Well, he's going to be loyal to the fighter. Well, Tank got to be loyal to Al because Al got him paid, or loyal to Floyd, or this fighter got to be loyal to that promotional company because they built them up. He owed them that. Okay, well, Bivol and Beterbiev had to be loyal to Turkey Al-Sheikh because it was because of Turkey Al-Sheikh both guys got their biggest paydays. That's one. Exactly. And two, it was because of Turkey Al-Sheikh those two Russians was able to fight for Undisputed. Because I just showed you an article from 2 years ago when they tried to fight for Undisputed. Then Mauricio Sulaiman said that y'all can fight, but my belt will not be on the line because of the war that's going on with Russia and Ukraine. That's what he said. So what changed? Because Russia and Ukraine still going to war. Russia still have sanctions against them. What changed? Turkey Al-Sheikh came in the picture. And when Turkey Al-Sheikh came in the picture, he put a little money in Mauricio's pocket. He put a little money in the PBC pocket. He put a little money in Top Rank pocket. He put a little money in Matchroom and Queensberry pocket, and everybody got on board. Right. All of a sudden, he got amnesia. Russia and Ukraine war. What war? I don't know what you're talking about. And then now, all of a sudden, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, we finna make this fight. That dude had that belt for 2 months, fam. He had that belt for 2 months. Right. You didn't keep that same energy when Canelo had a mandatory for 3 years with the WBC. What changed? No, but go ahead. Go ahead, I'll let you wrap it up.
No, I was just laughing about that, because it's like, Loma and what's his name? Usyk, they've been fighting. They directly affected by Ukraine. Then on top of that, you got the whole boxing league argument where they was talking about, Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White's bout, but then Sulaiman signed off on some boxing tournament with him recently when he was over there for that. So, Sulaiman is all about the money, the bread, like you said, my favor, this favor. It's all, as you say, it's politics, Coach. Politics as usual. That's all that shit is about, Coach. But it's a good-ass subject, bro. I ain't going to hold you up. I know you're going to have plenty of calls on this one, but, yeah, it's politics as usual, bro.
All right, salute, fam. Shout out to Corporate Texas. Bro, I just broke that down. Like, okay, what changed? So we know what's going on, fam. That's when I realized I did a live talking about Canelo, David Benavidez, Lewkowicz, all of them all of them are in agreement together. Every interview I looked at when they spoke to Sampson or David Benavidez or his father about, hey man, well listen man, you've been the mandatory. How come you ain't fought Canelo yet? And then David Benavidez be like, yeah, I know I've been the mandatory man, and for some reason I don't know why the WBC, they mandated me, and then Canelo don't want to fight me. I mean, I can't make him fight me. While all the while, David Benavidez knew that he wasn't going to fight Canelo, and all of them were just running this sham online because he knew that, they had no talked about it already. Look, this what it is, David. You ain't fighting Dick Canelo Alvarez. Canelo don't want to fight you. So you ain't going to fight him. Well, why don't you make me the mandatory? We'll make you the mandatory, but we're not going to enforce it. Why you not going to enforce it? Because the last time Canelo told us to kiss his ass and he dropped our WBC belt and we was getting paid peanuts when Jamal Charlo had the belt. So Canelo is the face of boxing. He got the belt again. We don't want to do nothing to piss him off, so you just going to have to go along with the game. You ain't getting a shot at him, but I'm going to make it up to you. Because you is catching hell making weight. When you move up to light heavyweight, you're going to get a couple of fights up there, and I promise you I'm going to get you a belt. I'm going to make it up to you. This is what's going on. True. That's what's going on. Nothing more, nothing less. You get to keep the persona of being the Mexican monster. Everybody's afraid of you. People having nightmares at night. You get to keep that persona, and then we gonna make you an email champ at the same time, and then you get to tell everybody ducking.
We the Charlo twins. We known for calling everybody out.
Please call these people out. Listen, the whole world's looking at you. Call these people out.
What's up? It's the Jamal the Hitman Charlo. Let's get it. Who want it?
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Mexican monster.
Hello.
Bro, that was the worst thing. Now, let me tell you something. That was the worst thing and the best thing that happened to David Benavidez. Mike Tyson gave him the name the Mexican Monster. Everybody running around the internet hollering about the Mexican Monster. Bro, when he said that, it was like, man, and David Benavidez, yeah, man, I'm the Mexican Monster. Hey, shout out to Moeezy, shout out to John. Oh, man. Hey, you get what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna lie. I do like that nickname, though. I do like that nickname, the Mexican Monster. I ain't gonna lie. I like that nickname. Yeah, that nigga got the Mexican Monster. That bullshit. Nigga, they scared of the Mexican Monster. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, they ducking, they running. You get what I'm saying? But what was really going on, this is all planned. So now he the email champ. My question is this. If David, okay, it's bad enough that you skipped the line. You skipped the rotation line. IBF is supposed to be first, but that's okay. We gonna give you that. Well, if David Benavidez waited 3 goddamn years to fight Canelo and he was the mandatory and he couldn't get a fight, why he couldn't wait 6 more months? Well, not 6 more months. What is it? April, May, June, July. Oh, yeah, April, May, June. Yeah, Beterbiev and Bivol supposed to fight in June. You couldn't wait 2 more months? And then be made the mandatory? Don't tell me it was a sense of urgency. Why all of a sudden you doing it right now at this moment? When you didn't do it for 3 years. The nigga, hold on. Carla, hold on. The nigga David Benavidez, he waited for 3 years. He couldn't wait 2 more months. That's how you know they was all in on it. It was a plan. I just showed you the article. He never gave a fuck about Bivol anyways. Mauricio Sulaiman. And let's have him get the belt. Now we know you finna go to purse bid. So he gonna go to purse bid. The fight, he gonna get a low ball offer. Benavidez, they're gonna be talking about, yeah, he the A side. We finna go fight in Vegas. We finna do this and do that. We finna pay you a whole head cheese sandwich, some Mexican pesos to fight the Method de Monto. Turn down them $10 million you finna make to fight Bivol. Caller, what's your name? You calling from?
It's Kermit from DC, Coach.
Kermit from DC, talk to me.
Coach, you know, I was watching your show one time, and I think you had Mauricio Sulaiman on, and you asked him, I think, about Charlo, about him holding up, hadn't fought in 2 years, and why were they not doing anything, stripping him? And he said to you, I think he said to you, we changed the rules for Charlo. And when he said that let me know, then he changed the rules whenever he wants to. If he changed the rules for Charlo, he changed the rules for anybody, but they don't tell us when they change the rules. And also, I think you said one time that you didn't think when Canelo and Benavidez going back and forth, you said you don't think they wanted to even fight each other. They just saying that stuff.
You remember I said that. It was all an act, the charade.
Right. Because they've been going back and forth, but they don't really want to fight each other, and they just acting like they do. And I really think, Coach, that the guys with the big cigars in the back room, I think they calling the shots anyway.
They do.
Coach,
they do call the shots. My thing is, I'm not tripping on David Benavidez. I'm not tripping on Dmitry Bivol. Notice in my whole argument, I'm not mad at Benavidez. I'm not mad at Bivol. All I'm saying is the Benavidez and his team and Mauricio Sulaiman, all of them was in on it. And Canelo, all of them was in on it. Because just like you said, I forgot all about Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo was allowed to hold his belt for 2 years without defending anything. He wasn't even boxing for like 2 years. They just let him hold the belt, keep the belt. So don't tell me nothing about your rules. And guess who was the mandatory to fight Jamal Charlo? Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames was the mandatory to fight doggone Jamal Charlo, and they still didn't force that fight. So why are you forcing a fight with Bivol and Benavidez to put that WBC title up when you didn't do it for Jamal Charlo and you didn't do it doggone with Canelo? Go ahead, bro.
Hey, Coach, you know, one last thing is, if you remember when that boy was fighting, what's his name? The guy Tank knocked out, who was talking all that stuff. When he got his title that he got now, he was fighting, and Tony Weeks was a referee, and he looked over at the I guess the sanctioning body, and they told him to stop the fight, and that's how that boy got that title, man.
You talking about Roland Romero fought Ismael Barroso?
Yeah, Coach. You remember that?
Yes,
when that's how he got the title. Tony Weeks looked over to the sanctioning body, and after that he stopped the fight. Man, so come on, man. Come on, Coach.
He said Tony Weeks looked over to the sanctioning body. Hey, Kermit. You know what I tell people? I say, hold on, check this out now. If you ever had a fight and you see somebody stand up and they doing baseball signals in the audience and the referee look over there, that's the sign. All right.
That's right.
You see somebody rubbing their arm,
Coach.
pulling on their ear like this here, rubbing the bib of their hat, doing like this here, doing like this. You see, that's them telling the referee, okay, man, stop the fight. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Coach. We know what it is, man.
All right, Coach.
All right, salute, man. Hey, I'm sitting there. Hey, listen, hey, shout out to LJ Wright. Man, I'm looking, anytime I go to a fight, I gotta see. I got my binoculars on, right? If I'm not close to the ring, I got my binoculars on. Yeah, man, let me look over here and see if I see a nigga out here doing baseball signals, because I already know what time it is. Yeah, he stood up. Once he did them baseball signals, that was it. Yeah, I knew what time that was. We know they did that with Rolly. Because you cannot explain to me. Listen, there's not nobody on the planet Earth can tell me how did Rolly Romero become a WBC super, a WBC Carla, hold on. Rolly Romero, crayon eating, Bugatti driving, coloring book using, Rolly Romero, Einstein, became a WBA the WBA junior welterweight champion. He's not good enough. He's not skilled enough. That man fought an old man that was 75 years old that they got out of the old folks' home. Rolly Romero had just got knocked out by Tank Davis at lightweight. His very next fight, he got another shot at the title. How do you get 2 shots at the title? You get knocked. Listen, you never was supposed to got a shot at Tank. Tank said at the press conference, man, this man trash. The only reason they making this fight is because he the last, because this is my last fight on the Mayweather Promotions contract. So they want to make an in-house fight. Tank didn't even want to fight the dude. He was contractually obligated to fight. Man, I don't even fight this nigga, man. Well, you got to give up one more fight, dog. We got Rolly. And you know, doggone Leonard Ellaby love Rolly Romero. I showed y'all the interview where he said the reason why he loved Rolly Romero so much, he said Rolly Romero is the only guy in boxing that calls me and checks on me and makes sure that I'm all right. So Booger Ray Leonard got a soft spot in his heart for Rolly Romero. Okay, that's good. He called and check on you, make sure you're all right. This motherfucker get knocked out by doggone Tank. And the very next fight, he get another shot at the title. And then they gave him a layup. They got Grandpa Ishmael Barroso from the old folks' home. The man was in hospice. And I don't mean that, again, my mother was in the hospital, other people was in the hospital. So, but I'm just trying to, I'm painting an analogy. I ain't gonna say hospital, that was a bad word term. But the man was at the old folks' home. And they rolled him in there. Y'all saw how old he was, and he was putting hands and foot on Rolly. Dropped him in everything. Tony Weeks had to jump in there, Rolly threw a flurry. Now, Rolly knocked him down too, but it was a flash knocked down. Buddy got up. Rolly threw a flurry of punches when the man was in the corner. He only landed 2 punches. I saw the shit. He landed like 1 or 2 punches. Off the shoulder. He didn't even hit the man in the face, off the shoulder. And Tony Weeks jumped in there, yeah, man, I got to protect the fighter. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie, talk to me.
Rolly Romero and Deontay Wilder are the worst 2 boxers I've ever seen that became champions. Yep. But, Coach, I hear that we have a new email champion again.
Yeah, got another email champ. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what, man. For me, the way I see it, there's no honor in that, man. You know what I mean? If you don't win the belt in the ring, I wouldn't call myself champ, bro, to be honest with you. But that's me. But for Bivol, Coach, I'm not gonna call him a duck. I don't think it is. Fighting Benavidez, it's a harder fight, and I'm sure that the paycheck is also bigger. That guy's going for glory. But Coach, in the early 80s, when I was a teenager and I started studying boxing and, I tried to memorize everything that I could back then. But, one thing I always heard growing up that Mauricio Sulaiman Sr. was a crook, And when I hear the word crook in the sport of boxing, for me, Don King comes to mind first, What I want to say is, whoever knows boxing knows this. Mauricio Sulaiman Sr. and Don King were boys for years.
Facts.
So,
Don King,
you know what I mean? I don't have to say more.
Don King controlled the WBC.
Yeah.
According to sources. Right. According to sources. We got to say that. Because Don King is my favorite promoter of all time, and I don't want to sit back and say anything bad about Don, even if it's true.
Yeah. He gave us a fight, man. That motherfucker gave us a fight.
Don gave us the fights, all in America, and he did it for the people, by the people, other people, because he come from the people, coming out of the streets, the mean streets of Cleveland, Ohio. He came from the penitentiaries to the White House. He built it up. He came from nothing to something. You know what I mean? He became a multi-millionaire. He gave us the best fights in the world. You get what I'm saying? Gave people memories from here and beyond. You get what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna say nothing bad about Don, but he was a crook. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, he was. But Coach, back in '79, bro, when I was 11 years old, I started this boxing shit, and for me, the ultimate prize and biggest trophy in all sports was a championship belt. You know, that's how I looked at it. Man, times have changed, bro. You know, we have fighters today that, you know, they become number one or mandatory, and they don't even want to fight, bro. They duck title shots. You know how crazy that sounds to me?
No, but you know what? This is what I'm learning. It's more so. Check this out. I'm gonna give you an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie the Hitman Hearn, they got the Diego Pacheco situation with Mobili, right? So I remember Steve Kim was on here. He spoke a lot about what messed up the game in boxing in America was the exclusive rights deals, right? So you got a fighter, you know, these promoters are the ones who put in the string in the background. You know, the fighters are nobody but pawns. The fighters do not control their own career. They got to do what the fuck they're told. This is what's going on. So the promotional company may be like, you know what? That might be a high risk fight. If I allow my fighter to fight this fight and he lose, then, you know, I lose whatever leverage that we have. We have a better, safer fight. That's an in-house fight over here. So you may see some fighters turn down certain fights. The fighter is the one that gets the blame. And I'm telling you, I don't spoke to a lot of these managers, these trainers and stuff like that. The fighter is the one that gets the blame, but really it's, you know, it's a promoter and the people in the background who control the fighters. Like David Benavidez is a controlled fighter. He gonna do what the fuck Sampson say do, you know, and Al and whoever do, right? And he says it. You know, well, you know, I gotta, anytime you interview Benavidez, what did he say? He said, well, you know, I'm gonna trust my team and I gotta talk it over with my team and I don't make decisions by myself. He was telling you right then, I'm not my own boss. My career is scripted, and you know, depending on what they say, that determines what I'm gonna do. Depending on what they say, that's what he's saying. And again, I'm not here to kiss none of these guys' asses, bro. I'm not. I don't care now about. I don't care now about them, about these dudes like that. I don't. I'm just being honest with you. That's what's going on, fam. But go ahead, Jamie.
But that's crazy to me, man. Let me say this, and I'm off the line. But yeah, that's crazy to me, man. You know, it's true, bro. It's sad to hear it and to understand it, but it's true, man. Belts today don't mean shit. You know, listen, there's a video out there. I've seen it a couple of times, right? It's Mike Tyson with a bunch of belts on the table, and he says that they're not worth anything. All they do is accumulate dust. That's Mike Tyson saying it. A real one, not me. Respect from New York. I'm out.
Yeah, these old cricket man. I'm calling the way I see it. Man, fuck them. I'll call what's your name you calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin from Oakland, talk to me.
Yeah, Coach. I don't think like the label of email champ has the same stigma as it used to have, because now that, you know, everybody and their mother is becoming undisputed, it's become a common thing, because you got all these, you know, guys that are basically in line for a title fight, but because, you know, someone like Canelo or Crawford and Spence are on their way to fight for undisputed, all these other guys got to wait around, you know, hoping to get a crack at a belt. A lot of times they got to settle for an intern belt, and it's not until guys drop those belts that they get a chance to move up. So it's not their fault that, you know, they didn't get the title shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we criticize Canelo for not fighting Benavidez and him not invoking his mandatory, you know, but yet when he finally does it, now there's all this criticism. Now there's all this, yeah, but you're not going to email champion and this and that. And it's like, man, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, think about it like this. Had Crawford and Spence ran it back, Brian Norman, Boots Ennis, Stanionis, and Mario Barrios, none of them are world champions. But fortunately, they dropped the belts and they got their shot, but nobody's either calling them email champs, because I don't see much of a difference between being an email champ.
Well, Crawford got stripped. He didn't drop the belt. He got stripped.
Yeah. Well, for the IBF, but all the other ones, he dropped them.
Yeah, he dropped.
But what I'm saying is, to me, there's not much difference between getting elevated and being considered an email champ and someone like Shakur, who Devin Haney dropped the belt, and he fought. Basically, he just fought, you know, whoever he fought, and became a champ. You know, you didn't beat the champion. At the end of the day, you know, one, they're basically the same thing because you didn't beat the man.
No, I kind of disagree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson did not get elevated. He fought for the belt, but you say he didn't beat the champion.
Yeah.
The champion was no longer in the division anymore. The champion had moved up. So how can you beat a guy at 135 in a division when he's not there anymore? He's up at the higher weight division, and you campaign at 135.
No, I get all that, but it does. It to me, there's no greater glory, between I picked up a vacant belt or the champion didn't want to fight you. It's the same shit. You didn't fight him one way or the other. Yeah, you're a champion, but the legacy of that belt doesn't say, Brian Norman beat Terrence Crawford. No, he picked up a vacant belt.
He fought
by
for
fighting.
It. He fought, but this is the difference. If you get emailed the belt, that means you were just sitting at home. You got mail, and you open up your email box, and you became a champion. If a fighter fights for a vacant title, he did not get emailed the belt. He had to put together some sweat equity. He had to fight, go through training camp, and he put himself in a position where he can get knocked off himself. He had to fight for that belt. So there's a difference between fighting for a belt and not having to fight at all. So I disagree with you on that, brother.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. That was Shakur's first fight at 135, if you remember. And here you got Benavidez. Benavidez beat a former lineal 175 champ, and then he fought David Morrell. So it's not like he didn't fight anybody. He fought people. You know what I mean? And it could be argued he fought some damn tough competition. So it wasn't really gifted to him.
It was gifted to him.
We like to say that.
It was gifted to him. He received it in the mail. Dmitry Bivol dropped the belt because he was being mandated by the WBC to fight David Benavidez, and Dmitry Bivol made a business decision. He said, "Look, I'm finna go fight Beterbiev. I at least owe him that because had it been up to the WBC, I never would have even gotten an opportunity to fight for Undisputed because I just showed you the article what they said 2 years ago. They blocked him from fighting for Undisputed, putting that belt on the line because of the war that was going on in Russia and Ukraine. The same war that's going on right now. So I mean, I get your point, but we just gonna agree to disagree on that.
Yeah. All right, coach.
But shout out to Martin. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? My point is this here. The fighter, I'm saying the top fighters. Now fighters like Shushu and Abdullah Mason and stuff like that, they need those belts because they coming up. But fighters who got a name already and established, you're fighting a top fighter, doesn't make you even more greater or less greater. Because people are going to watch that anyways because people want to they want to see the top guys fight each other. So now, if the belt no longer has any significance or meaning in the sport of boxing, then what's the point? I understood why Floyd Mayweather used to drop those belts all the time. What am I pay you 3% for? You ain't doing shit. Carl, hold on. And then you pick and choose when you want to enforce mandatories and do certain things. That's the thing. The sanctioning bodies are crooked. They are consistent at being inconsistent. Again, I don't have a problem with it. It's just my job to point out the obvious. It's my job to point the obvious out. That's all I'm doing. I'm pointing the obvious out. It is what it is. And, again, I ain't got no friends on this shit. Carter, what's your name? You calling from?
Hey, what up, Coach? It's Coach Eddie from ATL.
Coach Eddie, ATL, talk to me.
Hey, Coach, like you said, man, you beat the play a long time ago. I ain't really think you know what you were talking about, but it all came to pass. Everything you said was right on the money, man. I think if you look at what David Benavidez did, he fought the dude out of Caleb Plant, not Canelo. I mean, Canelo's camp, Bosnick. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, he popped. He's the number one contender at the WBC. So he's in line for a title shot just that quick. He only fought one guy in the division.
Who?
And then he fought another guy that came up.
Who you talking about?
He fought Bosnick. David Benavidez fought Bosnick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Then that elevated him.
And he back in the top. He like number 1 or 2 or something like that, right?
Yeah. So he fought Bosnick. That put him right up there, at high rankings in the WBC. And then he fought David Morrell, which was basically a 168-pounder who had just got to 175. And if you notice the rankings right now, you will repeat the game, David Morrell is ranked number 2. So them dudes going to do a rematch. That's going to be the next fight, because nothing else makes sense, because everybody else is on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
You know, all them other guys that's in that 175 division, they on the other side of the street. Turkey Al-Sheikh had something lined up for him, but I think Al Hain was like, "No, this is what we gonna do." He probably called Mauricio Sulaiman, said, "Go ahead and elevate my boy."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making the champ. Then we gonna do the Dave Morrell rematch. And that was a decent fight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That was a decent fight. That's really the only fight that makes sense for him right at this particular time. Other than that, he's gonna have to go across the street. You know they ain't gonna want to do that. Both of them guys, the PBC guys.
Yeah, they ain't happening.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So my thing, my thing is this. See, the reason why I point the flow out in is this. I'm glad Kermit called, because I forgot all about Jamal Charlo. Don't tell me that there's integrity and the sanctioning body and the WBC did the right thing. They let Jamal Charlo hold the belt for 2 years. You know, I did multiple shows talking about that. The same Jamal Charlo holler about he want to unify, but ain't unified yet, and he been boxing for 17 years. They let him hold the belt for 2 years. Oh, well, we feel sorry for Jamal Charlo. He's going through some things mentally. Okay, well, if he's now, hold on. That's what they did with Jamal Charlo. David Benavidez, he fought 25 people for 3 years, waiting on Canelo, knowing damn well that he wasn't going to get the fight, because all of them had no win in the huddle and told him what the play was. So that's why the WBC didn't force that fight to happen. They convinced this man to move up to light heavyweight. He outgrew the division, and then they said, "Look, we're gonna make sure you get a belt at light heavyweight." And you see how that played out. So my point is this here: exactly. Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez have two things in common. You want to know what that is?
What's that?
They with the PBC.
Exactly. You said it. And you hit it nail right on the head. And not on that, who else is with the PBC? David Morrell. I'm telling you, that's going to be the next fight. Mark my word. That fight, they're going to fight again. And it's going to be for that belt. That's going to be the first defense or second defense. Because like I say, everything else, you got to go across the street. That's going to be an in-house fight, PBC. They're going to try to throw it on pay-per-view again. And it may go, instead of triple platinum, it may just go double wood this time, not triple wood.
Yeah, doggone Dave Benavidez, he ain't no draw like that. I mean, he got the, I think the biggest thing, and I like David Benavidez, but I got to call a spade a spade. It's his team. These fighters don't control their careers. It ain't but a few of them that do. So, this is what's going on. This is why I say I'm not mad at David Benavidez for being the email champ. He is that. There's no mistaking about that. And, but he's down with it. He knew what the play was going to be. And it's Sampson and the PBC and doggone Mauricio Sulaiman and WBC. That's what's going on. So it is what it is.
Back. And I think the one more thing, the fighter that I know that got stripped the quickest, in my opinion, was Jamal Charlo. I never seen somebody lose all their belts so fast. Man, that dude got stripped. They stripped for everything off of him. As soon as he fought Canelo, I think a couple of months later, this dude didn't have no belt.
they ain't give a fuck. They ain't give a damn about Jamel. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. Shit, listen, they let this nigga right here hold the belt. He was holding the belt since '79.
I'm sorry? 160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division.
Y'all remember that? Hey, listen, shout out to Castor. Sorry about that. We're dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy. He say fighting Callum Smith plus the winner of Beterbiev Bivol 3 was the best route for Benavidez, money-wise, profile-wise, and legacy-wise. Yet he chose to get emails, scary hours, typical PBC BS. And this is why when he went, now it makes sense. Remember, he went over there, he flew way over there to Saudi Arabia. He was over there for like 2 hours, and then he didn't even watch the Beterbiev and Bivol fight because he already knew what the play was. They just went over there, hey, we're here, and listen, everything's a stage. And then he left before the fight. I'm hearing he didn't even really talk to Turk out of sheet like that. He left before the fight. Everybody knew what was going on. It makes sense now. Shout out to the Axiom. Dropping out $2 super chat. He said WBC, why bother competing? Shout out to OBW Stretch. Dropping out $2 super chat. He said, Bivol and Beterbiev beats Benavidez. You know what? I believe that. I believe that as well. I would love to see those fights, but believing it and seeing it is two different things. So absolutely. I'm with you on that. Shout out to Green Eyes P. She just gifted a brother a membership. I think the brother she gifted name is Lee. So shout out to Lee for becoming a member. Let's give, matter of fact, let's do this here. Not only give you a round of applause, but let's hit him with the Huggy Bear.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Y'all hold on for a minute. Bear with me one moment. Sorry about that. Camera had went out. I don't know why I switched it. I don't know why I switched to utility. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so yeah, I got it. Just want to make sure everything good. Yeah, so that was the play. That's the play the whole time. This how this works. Smoke and mirrors entertainment. Smoke and mirrors promotion. The eyes see, the ears hear, but nothing ever what it appears to be. That's what's going on. Now I will be honest. The fighter is the one that gets the blame for a lot of stuff. But I'm coming to realize it's not the fighters. I'm coming to the realization it's not the fighters. It's their paymasters, the people who control them. Shout out to Ben Davis. Shout out to James Lee. It's the people who control them. The fighter is the fall guy, but it's not the fighters. It's the Mauricio Sulaimans. He's the same. How was this, and again, it is what it is. I mean, the game ain't based on sympathy. When you're a part of this boxing game, you get taught and you learn how it goes. You learn the politics of it. So it's politics, that's what it is. I'm just pointing it out. I can point it out with such vigor because I don't have any connections to these guys. I don't have no skin in the game with these guys. So I'm going to call it out, whether it's Golden Boy, PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, Queensberry. Again, I don't get a check from none of these niggas. These are white millionaires. These are Mexican millionaires. These are black millionaires. They don't give a fuck about a broke nigga like me. When I say broke, I ain't broke like I have to work at McDonald's, but I'm saying in comparison to their net worth, I'm broke. So they don't give a fuck about nobody like me. And guess what? I don't give a fuck about them. So I can freely talk the way I talk and call it the way I call it. Because there's nothing I want from them. I don't need nobody, no promoter or sanctioned body or whatever to validate me. Coach Malachi validated himself. The day I started my YouTube channel, I validated myself. I get what I can get and I keep it pushing. Simple as that. I'm the star over here. So I get 25 fucks about, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Nigga, I got a call from Kelly Swanson years ago. Like literally, motherfuckers hit me up, it was a no-fly zone for me with PBC. Literally. I had this old punk asshole, Tom Brown, daughter-in-law or daughter or whatever. She said some old slick slide shit to me on Twitter or whatever, on X or whatever the case may be. I cussed that hoe out on this show. If I gave a damn about trying to get in with these motherfuckers, I'd be so nice. I say just some really, really nice things about all of these guys. I don't give a fuck about saying nothing nice about these motherfuckers. I like the sport of boxing. I care nothing about the politics. I like the sport of boxing. I care nothing about the politician. That's my favorite politician. Ain't none of them my favorite politician. None of them. Democrat, Republican, all the same. PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, Queensberry, Golden Boy Promotions, they all the same. WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, they all the same. I would be naive not to think so. I would be naive not to believe so. Because I know what my eyes show me and I know what my ears are telling me. I know what I'm seeing and hearing. It is what it is. What you say? Listen. Miss Connie, hold on. Let me pull this up. Miss Connie said, bend the knee. Where you at, Miss Connie? Miss Connie, where you at? Bend your own knee, coach. Hey, Miss Connie, check this out. David Benavidez bent the knee. Mauricio Sulaiman and Sampson Lewkowicz, they bent the knee. So Benavidez bent the knee to Sampson Lewkowicz. Ain't that what the terms they were using? When you fight for Turk Al Sheikh, you bend the knee. Oh, well, he bent the knee to them a long time ago. He went along with the plan. Doing interviews, faking like he didn't know what was up. When all the while he was down with the lick. Sources told me when Canelo signed to the, explain this to me. This how you know he was down with the plan. How in the hell does Canelo Alvarez, because that was his big thing. Man, Canelo ducking David Benavidez. He's scared of the Mexican monster. Canelo was so scared of David Benavidez, guess what he did? I'm finna go sign to your record label. True. He said, Coach, can you see my typing because my super chats is being blocked? How was y'all, yeah, I can see you right now. I got you on screen. I got you on screen, fam. Hey, Canelo was so scared of David Benavidez that he said, you know what? I'm finna go sign with Death Row. To this day. Came to your trap, got money out of your trap, and he still didn't have to fight you. And the sanctioning body, who you said, who made you the mandatory, to the guy who you said that was ducking you for 3 years, they didn't even enforce that mandatory. But same thing they did with Jamal Charlo. But guess what? Bivol won the belt 2 months ago. And the WBC is not even in the number one in rotation. It's the IBF. But they such a powerful sanctioning body, they say, look, we finna get you that belt right now, baby boy. That's what they did. Knowing damn well that this guy was going to fight Bivol. If the nigga been waiting, my argument is this here. If the nigga was waiting for 3 years to fight Canelo to get a belt, knowing he wasn't going to get the belt, he couldn't wait 4 more months? He been waiting all this time. Why the sense of urgency? Because they promised him that. This ain't nothing nobody told me. I figured this shit out on my own. I watch enough Inspector Gadget. I watch enough Kojak. I watch enough Hawaii Five-0. I watch enough Magnum P.I. I watch enough 18. I watch enough Hill Street Blues. I watch enough Miami Vice. Wild Wild West. New York Undercover. Scooby-Doo. I watch enough of all that to figure this shit out. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And I figured that out with a GED. Just imagine if I had a master's degree or a doctorate, what I'd be able to figure out. I did all this with a GED. You dig? To this day. Shout out to the Cardenas. He said it'd be funny if Canelo pull a Mayweather versus Pac and fight David B at the end and beat him and KO him. Shout out to the Superman. He said he already interned with his. He said hey, Ron Boy Fresh was right about that, bro. Ron Boy Fresh said, hey, yo, Mo, check this out, Mo. Peep game. This what's going on, Slim. Hey, shout out to LJ Wright. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, what you say, coach? You're the A-side at TBM? Yeah, exactly. No, you're talking about TMB. Yeah, exactly. I'm the A-side over here. And guess what? I'm not trying to fit in. I'm not trying to fit in with nobody else. I'm not trying to fit in with nobody else. So I'm not, I don't make moves based on trying to fit in with somebody else's program. I don't. This shit gonna be on my terms, how I want it. Or nothing. You know what I mean? That's just how I see it. Hey, shout out to Silver Stress. What did you say, fam? He said, Coach, you know damn well Team Benavidez don't plan on getting their ass whooped by Bivol. Wasn't going to happen, Coach. Yeah. I mean, so it is what it is. It is what it is, fam. Again, as I said before, man. I mean, that's just my personal observation of it. I make no bones that I don't like Sampson Lewkowicz. I don't like them. I make no bones that I don't like doggone Mauricio Sulaiman. I make no bones about that. But I see what's going on. Hold on. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Reese from Oakland. Let me get up out this YouTube because there's the YouTube going on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Reese from Oakland. Talk to me.
What's going on, Coach? Hey, you know what's a trip though? Like you dropping straight gems right now. No, real talk. You had me going to memory bank. So you know what? One thing ain't nobody been brought up so far. Even it's a more with your opening monologue and callers and shit. So originally when Canelo came to the PBC, right, came to the trap, got the money, woo woo, and how about he was offered with a 3-fight contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
3-fight.
From what we know, from what we know, of public, knowledge or whatnot, word of mouth, rumors or whatnot, was it was both Charlos, and they were banking on Spence to beat Crawford, and that was supposed to be the super fight that they were gonna have in Dallas, and sell hella tickets because he's big there. Canelo, broke a gate out there during the COVID with Billy Joe or whatnot. But if the PBC and Lewkowicz were so invested in you and Canelo was ducking you and this and that, why the fuck wasn't your name on that contract? Like, it's a trip, because you really think about it, like, why do they got a welterweight that's for the fight for the undisputed welterweight championship in the contract in a junior middleweight and a middleweight, but the motherfucker that's in the weight class who's being ducked supposedly not in the contract. And even when Smith fucked off the plan and got smoked by Bud, and then he started getting in talks, because originally he said, "I'm not gonna go up that high. It's just too big."
Yeah, he did say
like,
that.
The shit ain't adding up, Coach. The numbers ain't numbering. It's too much piggly wiggly, too much ham hock amateurs jumping off. So, Coach, like, you feel me? Like, it just. I mean, what say you? What you think about that whole situation?
No, man. I mean, yeah, you're right. Because listen, it's all set up. These people have a plan. They don't deviate from it. I've been studying Leonard Ellaby, and when they go to talk about y'all don't understand the business of boxing. This is the business of boxing. The fighter is going to take the fall. But the business guys dictate everything that's going on. No, I played that Bernie Mac clip for a reason. You know what I mean? When y'all remember Jamie Foxx coming there, he said, "Hey man, dollar man, I want to know when you gonna pay me the rest of the money. You owe me, or can you pay me more money, man? You already taking 50% off the money that you already owe me that I borrowed from you." He said, "Who you think it is? DJ Quick? Kid Capri?
Yeah.
You must be Jimmy Walker. Blue, you ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. You don't get nothing. You get what I give you. This is the most important part. I got a contract between me and you, David Benavidez, me and you, Shakur Stevenson, me and you, or whoever fighter that's in boxing. I got a contract between me and you that says you do what I tell you to do. Therefore, you're going to fight all these goddamn whole head cheese sandwiches at super middleweight. You ain't going to get the Canelo fight. Canelo right here, yo, Sampson right here, Al Heyman somewhere in the hide somewhere. You ain't gonna get that fight. What you gonna do? You gonna move up to 175. I got a Russian up there who I tried to block for fight for Undisputed a couple years ago. He got that belt. So when you go up there, we gonna let you get 2 fights up there, and then we gonna mandate him to fight you. Now we know he ain't gonna fight you because he getting paid a whole lot of money for turn out a sheet. He ain't gonna fight you right now. He'll probably fight you later after that. But don't worry about that there. We gonna strip it and we gonna email you the belt. Therefore, shut the fuck. Don't say nothing. Don't speak to me. Don't look at me. David, let me tell you something. If I raise up, it gonna be trouble. Trouble. Now what on? And next thing you know, when they interview David Benavidez, what he say? "Oh, well, I love the WBC. I love fighting for the WBC. I trust my team with Sampson Lewkowicz and my dad and Al Heyman. They treat me very good. So whatever they have lined out for me, I'm just gonna go along with that." He was telling us right then what the play was.
Yeah, right. It's too sketchy, and it's too much shit jumping off that it's like, it's foggy to where, like, come on, bro, you're not that oblivious that you don't see the play, ahead of time, because the boxing game is chess. It ain't checkers. Everything is strategic. All these boxes get moved a certain way, they get projected a certain way. You see what I mean? It's every now and then when it's a wrench thrown into the equation where they got to adapt, on the fly. And with people saying that Bivol ducked him, I don't feel that way, because you know what? I thought about it, but then when I was hearing your bust down, the way you was breaking it down, to where, why am I going to fight this one dude for one belt when Turkey did give me 2 big ass paydays to where I was granted the opportunity to fight for Undisputed. Because Sulaiman was with the bullshit a couple years ago with the whole war thing. You nailed that too. But, hey, no lie, you own one today, Coach. No talk. The real talk. But why it don't make no sense for him to go fight him when you already know what you're gonna get paid here, and you're already established with it. Like, cause really he can retire after this third fight. Real talk. That's what he should do. Drop the belts and fuck them. Make everybody earn them motherfuckers one by one, like Beterbiev did. But hey, Coach, again, appreciate the show. Keep the shit up, bro. Loving it.
That's Luke, fam. Yeah, bro, I'm just pointing out the obvious. I see what's going on. Listen to the language when they do interviews. Listen to when Jose Benavidez talk. Well, Al Heyman has been treating us very good. Pete, it's Sampson Lewkowicz, Mauricio Sulaiman. They didn't put no pressure on him. They used Canelo name. Yeah, man, Canelo ducking us. He don't want to fight us, and we don't understand. All of a sudden, they just dumb. Y'all remember that song? Y'all remember that song by Run DMC? Dumb girl, dumb, 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 dumb. Carla, hold on. Yeah, all of a sudden they dumb. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why. The WWE show hasn't mandated yet. We've been waiting. Canelo don't want to fight us. And then when you ask him a direct question, okay, why don't you just talk to Mauricio Sulaiman right here on camera and say, look, man, when you gonna mandate this fight? You sent on the mandatory for 3 years. They'll do. Well, we like our relationship with Mauricio. What you like Mauricio for? He ain't giving you a shot at Canelo. But yeah, guess what? As soon as you get the light heavyweight, you have 2 fights. All of a sudden, you the email champ. It was the plan all along. Just like Ron Boyfresh said, it was a scam. Anyways, Carla, what's your name you called from?
Speaking of Ron Boy.
Oh, God.
Hey, Mo, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
This is the 175 is about to be a trash-ass division. Y'all might as well, after this trilogy is over, well, Artur and Dmitry, it's over. This 175, they done already told you. You only hear a certain group of fighters say the same shit. I'm a PBC fighter. I ain't never heard Anthony Joshua ever say I'm a matchroom fighter. I'm a DAZN fighter. I ain't never heard Buzz say I'm a top-ranked fighter. I'm a HBO fighter. Whatever. We go down the list. You never even hear Canelo even say no dumb shit. I'm a Golden Boy fighter. It only comes from PBC boxers. Have you noticed this shit, Slim?
Hey, this sound like some goddamn plantation shit. Yeah, man, I'm a top rank fighter. Yeah, I'm a PBC fighter.
No, you never heard it. You've never heard it. Flat out. So they already got the place. This Bama is literally about to run with this whole fake ass Mexican. What I told you, they was gonna run with this fake ass Mexican boogeyman shit, this Mexican monster shit, bring up 60 and 68 pounders. He gonna start putting these Bamas to sleep, and that's what they're gonna run with. They're not gonna try to unify at 75. They never wanted any big fights at once. Ain't no way you gonna sit here and tell me you gonna settle for an email belt when all you had to do was wait 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and you would have had all the belts.
Yeah. And see,
none of it makes sense.
And guess what, Ron? But to piggyback off of what you said, for the Benavidez fans may say, well, he been waiting for 3 years. He deserves a shot now. Okay, well, if he waited for 3 years, he could have waited goddamn 4 or 5 more months.
Exactly. And so, remember, I kept saying that, right? Yeah. Remember, what did he tell you? They ain't never filed no motherfucking paperwork to expedite that shit. You gotta file paperwork. They never did it. They just sat there and kept with that same narrative. Oh, no, Canelo don't want to fight me. Now we got to hear, oh, Dimitry don't want to fight me. He went on and ran it back with Artur. And so I got the belt and this, that, and the third. Now, okay, cool. But we know Mauricio knew what to happen. He's like, oh, they already signed the paperwork, so we know they ain't about to double back off that trilogy. Give you the belt. Mauricio, they so crooked, they jumped the line on the IBF.
Yep.
It was in play all the time. I told you they never wanted to fight for a belt. They always wanted a vacated belt. I've been telling you this for how long? It's all been a fucking
It's all been a scam, Mo. They've been trick bagging the boxing public for years. I mean, they trick bagging y'all. I mean, you know, you hip, but they trick bagging them and having y'all believing this Mexican monster shit. This shit is the fakest shit. Now we gotta hear this shit. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, we've been arguing for 12-hour live shows, arguing with people, threatening each other, getting gun emojis. I'm like, man, all the while, Mauricio Sampson and Al never sitting back like laughing, like, man, we got these fools going, boy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's like, that battle from DC be right though. He hip, but as long as the other jokers not hip, now y'all getting hip. Now y'all getting hip. All this shit was a play. I've been telling y'all. He never wanted to fight for a belt. They always wanted a vacated belt. I told you, when Eddie went to fucking Cleveland, man, what's going on with this fake-ass monster, man? What's up? Put him on a docket. No, we ain't trying to do no business like that. We ain't. So you mean to tell me they signed Canelo, right? You my man. You signed the motherfucker. I'm trying to clean the... I can't get the fight. Fuck.
Hey, your phone went out.
It was never in the plan for them to fight for any one of those belts. They always wanted a vacated belt so they can just go ahead and keep up with this fake-ass Mexican monster shit. Now we got to hear, oh, he fought Morale. Now I'm hearing this shit. He fought Morale.
Hey,
Morale, who the fuck is Morale in 75?
Hey, check this out. The Morale win didn't age. I'm going to tell you why. Before the fight, I was saying, you were saying, other people saying, look, Morale ain't got but 11 fights. He 11-0. He ain't proved to be no type of killer or nothing. When David Benavidez beat him, are y'all going to say, oh, man, he really wasn't that experienced, that's why he lost. You know how I know? I just saw an interview with David Morale's trainer. He used to be one of David Benavidez's trainers. He admitted that in the interview. Right. He said, yeah, man, you know, David Morale hurt Benavidez a couple of times. He said the only reason he didn't pull it out, like because he didn't have the experience. He only had 11 fights. Yeah. I said, lo and behold, that was gonna be their trump card. If he beat him, he was ready. When he lose, oh yeah, man, you know, when he had but 11 fights, he wasn't experienced. That's exactly what he's saying now.
And like I said, we looking at it, but that's what I'm going by. I was like, motherfuckers is really agitated because I said, well, since we know that Dimitry is already booked, why don't y'all send the offer to Caleb Smith? Oh, no, who is Caleb Smith, bitch? Who the fuck? Caleb Smith is more accomplished than everybody pretty much on Benavidez's resume. What the fuck are we talking about? Send Caleb Smith for offer. Now we gotta hear Benavidez for the next few years talking about he a Vegas fighter. Now he gonna try to A-side his way out of all the big fights. Book it. I guarantee it. I'm the A-side. You gotta come to Vegas. They already told you what they gonna do.
Dude, you ain't selling out Vegas fighter. Yeah, you ain't selling out Vegas, and you ain't no damn draw. So listen, he finna do the same thing Edgar Berlanga do.
They gonna run with.
Yeah, they definitely gonna run with it.
They gonna run with that bam ass shit. And this is the worst thing to happen to the 175 division. Mark my words, man. This shit is trash, man. I swear to God, man, I'm out. But that's all I got for you, Mo.
Yeah, listen. When I heard David Benavidez say that, yeah, man, I'm a Vegas fighter. You know, I'm like, a Vegas fighter? What the fuck you mean? You ain't Canelo. Who you think we are, Canelo? Who you think we are, DJ Quick? King Capri? Oh, you must be Saul Canelo Alvarez. What you mean? I'm a Vegas fighter. My fans, you ain't got no fans like that, fam. And you damn sure ain't no Vegas fighter. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? He act like, this man act like he... I get it. Listen, bro, I get it. I'm not upset with David Benavidez. David Benavidez is doing what he's told. Hey, man, shout out to Ready to Rumble. Hey, okay. Listen, man, for becoming a member. Salute to you, fam. Your membership is on. I got you, fam. Listen, check this out. Bro, listen. We know what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell it like it is. As I said before, I'm not upset with David Benavidez. I'm not upset with Dmitry Bivol. The aim of my target is Sampson Lewkowicz, who I cannot stand, and Mauricio Silly Putty, who I cannot stand. Mauricio Sulaiman and WBC is a cricket organization. It was cricket when your pappy had it, who passed away, RIP to him. and it's crooked that now that the son is passed on to the son. And Sampson Lewkowicz, you can look at his face. That tell you everything you need to know with him. So I got to call a spade a spade. You know, it is what it is. David Benavidez, the Benavidez family was all in on the play. Because I kept asking myself, how in the hell Canelo okay, if I'm afraid of a fighter that's signed to death row, let's say I'm with Bad Boy. I'm Biggie Smalls, I'm with Bad Boy. And Bad Boy's beefing with Death Row. And you got Pac over here, Snoop the Dog Pound, and then you got doggone Biggie over here with doggone Bad Boy. And Biggie contract is up with Bad Boy, he a free agent. And they say, man, well, Biggie's scared of Death Row. Biggie's so scared of Death Row, he come to California, signed the contract with Suge Knight on the same record label with Pac. I'm just painting an analogy. And so like, if he was scared, wouldn't he, man, let me try to stay away from Death Row. Nah, he came right over there, said, no, I'm finna sign with y'all. I'm getting all excited with shit. Goddamn Canelo coming to the PBC. I know he finna get David Benavidez now. We finna get the Benavidez and Canelo fight. He was gonna fight Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is in rehab. He ended up fighting Jamel Charlo. And then guess who else he fought? He fought 2 non-PBC fighters with a 3-contract deal with the PBC. Guess who he fought? He fought 2 matchroom fighters. True. My bad. He fought a Golden Boy fighter in Jaime Mugiel, and he fought a matchroom fighter with Edgar Berlanga. How do you sign the Death Row Records, but you ain't got no songs with Pac, you ain't got no songs with Biggie, you ain't got no songs with Snoop, you ain't got no songs with the Dog Pound, but you got songs with Mace, you got songs with doggone Public Enemy, you got songs with doggone Big Daddy Kane, you ain't got no songs, and then the only dude you fought over there that was on Death Row, you fought Jamel Charlo, who ran the entire fight. True. Make it make sense.
They said they never gave you niggas money.
You dig?
I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time.
I said, God damn it, be scared. Why is he going over there? Hey, Foodie, I'm not gonna be scared. Why is he going over there? Why is he going over there? I'm gonna be shaking like booty meat. No, man, see what it is. Him and Al had something worked out, see? Him and Al had something worked out. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, so how can you be loyal to a company? They wouldn't even give you the Benavidez. They wouldn't even give you the Canelo fight. You loyal to the WBC, but they wouldn't even give you the Canelo fight. You loyal to Sampson, he couldn't even get you the Canelo fight. You loyal to Al Haymon, he couldn't get you the Canelo fight. But every interview, you talk about how happy you are with Al Haymon, how happy you are with the PBC, how happy you are with Sampson Lewkowicz, how happy you are with Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC. You want to know why you talk about how happy you is? Because you was down with the play the whole time. True. Don't let David Benavidez fool y'all. Don't let Mauricio Sulaiman and Sampson fool y'all. All of them was in on it at the same time. Canelo was where everybody knew what time it was. Oh no, Canelo, you know what it is, Canelo. I'm just saying, I had no idea you was coming over here. We offered you $75 million guaranteed. I agreed to take $5 million. All this shit lies. Carla, what's your name when you calling from?
This is T-Rod from Harlem, Houston.
T-Rod from Harlem, talk to me.
I've been wanting to call him for a couple of weeks when I heard Ron Boy on Main Man, Made Man on his platform. And he broke it down. Main Man let him stay on there for about 30 minutes. And he broke it down how Spence was a hype job, Benavidez was a hype job. And I said, I watch you religiously. I'm not on the chat, but like so many people, I watch you religiously.
Yes, sir.
I said, my boy should do a show about this. And this show is similar to how the hype jobs of the PBC. I don't know if you can go that deep, but if you ever listen to Main Man, it was 2 weeks ago. It was a Friday, 2 weeks ago. If you ever listen to how Ron Boy Fresh broke it down, he went in depth. And then you spoke about it like 3 days later because it was a hot topic at the time. But now, this subject matter is about the same thing. I'm telling you, it's like I said, you are the only one that can break it down and
and let everybody see the intricacies of how Errol Spence was a hype job. He broke it down each of his fights and how it was all hype with Danny Garcia, with Mikey Garcia, even with Sean Porter, how it was all nothing but hype. But I'm telling you, that kid Ron Boy Fresh, I had big respect for him. You know, he always on your platform.
Yeah, Ron Boy. That's Ron Boy. Hey,
I'm saying, please,
you know, them DC cats, but I love them DC cats.
Yeah, some DC boys, wow. But if you could listen to that show and just get that, I was hoping, you know how you cut your shows up and you put it out with just that little phone call? I was hoping he did that, but I never heard it again. But I know what show is on, so I can always go back and listen to it. But I just want you to
just send it to me. Just send it to me. If you can.
I will.
All right.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you for calling, man. T-Rob Harlem to Houston. Salute. A-Sound. A-Sound to A-Sound. You know, because I'm sitting back, it didn't make sense to me. If the end game is for me to fight Canelo for the belt, and my team is not able to deliver, bro, Terrence Crawford became a free agent with Top Rank. When he left Top Rank, do you remember the last fight he had? Do you remember the last fight he had on Top Rank when he fought Sean Porter? That fight went to a purse bid. He stopped Sean Porter in the 10th or 11th round. Do you remember that? What happened on stage? Bob Bam was up there. Didn't nobody know what Bud was going to do? And they say, man, well, you're a free agent. Do you plan on re-signing with Top Rank? And Bud say, well, you know, Bob couldn't get me the Errol Spence fight when I was with him. So, you know, what's the purpose of me re-signing with him? He couldn't get me the Errol Spence fight when I was with him. Bud had to leave on Top Rank, try to negotiate with the Invisible Man because he never met Al Heyman. The middleman, matter of fact, hold on. Let me show y'all this Ponzi scheme right here. The middleman, Lewis, and I told y'all this here too. I say the black man, everything has been done through Louis DeCoubas and Tom Brown. Remember I told y'all that? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I got the receipt. I'm finna show y'all something. I'm finna show y'all something right here. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Shout out to Ring IQ. He the one got this snippet. He the one got this snippet. So let me do this. Let me show y'all this. I ain't playing these crackhead games with these niggas today. Not me. Let's do this. Let's see let me see what it's at. Hold on. All right, let's go. Now, this is Bob Bear. I want y'all to hear this here. And I want y'all to listen very carefully. I do not own the rights to this materials for educational purposes only. Let's go.
Lastly, Bob, just an update on the talks between Top Rank and PBC. Have you actually spoken to Al Heyman as recently?
No, I haven't spoken to Al in a long time, but he has an able spokesperson in DeCoubas, and so Carl and some of our other guys talk to DeCoubas. I guess that's the way Al wants it, and so that's the level of communication.
Did y'all hear that? He say, "Hey man, I'm gonna rewind that so you can hear it again." Don't listen. Bob Arum haven't even spoken to Al. He said, "I ain't spoke to him in a while." None of the PBC fighters have even seen or talked to Al Heyman. That includes Tank Davis, Errol Spence, the Charlos. They don't even talk to him. They working through the subsidiaries. Tom Brown, the Cubas. Yeah. Can't nobody, I told y'all the IRS can't find this nigga. The FBI, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security, they can't find him. The Secret Service, the Mossad, Scotland Yard, they can't find him. Bob Arum has been promoting since Jesus. Bob Arum promoted David and Goliath fight in the Bible. I ain't talked to him in a while. I'm working through somebody. Let's see that one more time.
And lastly, Bob, just an update on the talks between Top Rank and PBC. Have you actually spoken to Al Heyman as recently?
No, I haven't spoken to Al in a long time, but he has an able spokesperson in the Cubas, and so Carl and some of our other guys talk to the Cubas. I guess that's the way Al wants it, and so that's the level of communication.
Do Sampson, who's in that sphere, the PBC sphere, said De Los Santos and Keyshawn may very well be next. Do you have an update on that?
I think so. I think I was talking to Keyshawn in the office yesterday.
Now I told y'all that I met Edwin De Los Santos' trainer. We was in Houston, Texas together at the Red Owl event. We stayed at the same hotel. The La Quinta Inn or something of that sort. And I stayed there for one day because I was living at Best Western Lobby on the south side. Then my last day, I went to another hotel closer to the airport where I was flying out of. That was a very interesting conversation. Because he asked me about what you think about Edwin De Los Santos and Keyshawn. I said, that's going to be a good fight. I like Keyshawn Davis a lot, and I like Edwin De Los Santos a lot. Keyshawn is a puncher, is a boxer puncher. Edwin De Los Santos is a boxer puncher. I said I make for a great fight. I really don't know who's going to win that fight. And then he went to talking to me about money, and he said, Coach, man, I saw your video on what you said about Mama Holyfield. He said Mama Holyfield, and the other trainer was saying Mama Holyfield too. This is Edwin De Los Santos trainers. And he said, yeah, man, we with Sampson and Louis de Cubas. That's what he told me. I said, when the last time you seen Al? You know what he told me? He said, man, I haven't seen Al since when Floyd Mayweather fought Andre Berto. Do you know when Floyd fought Andre Berto? 10 years ago, 2015. I say, so anytime Edwin De Los Santos do business or fight, I say, y'all don't deal with Al? He say, nah, I don't deal with him. We deal with Louis de Cubas and Sampson. That's who we deal with. Everything go through them. Real talk. True. You get what I'm saying? What you say, Lee? You say Coach Malachi, the negotiations fell apart. Yeah, so what he told me was, he said that the Keyshawn Davis fight and Edwin De Los Santos, he said that fight is not a done deal. You know, there's some issues about money and all that stuff there. He said it's not a done deal. It hasn't been signed and none of that. Shout out to Lisa Bell. She said Coach Malachi, the negotiations fell apart. I just saw it on X. You talking about the Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos negotiations? Yeah, you know what, sis? If you're talking about that, I can believe that. Because when I spoke to his trainer, he told me that there was nothing guaranteed and it was none of that. He told me that they didn't have anything signed or nothing of that sort. Miss Black Panther, she said somebody need to do a welfare check on Al. Yeah, this is strange. This is really strange. You know, because people was getting excited. Yeah, man, Keyshawn and Edwin De Los Santos finna fight. I said, yeah, you know what I learned about boxing? I learned not to get excited about possibilities. Any news or I don't get excited about that. In today's boxing, you really can't get excited until you see both niggas in the ring. We saw what Mama Holyfield daughter did. Mama Holyfield daughter, who she gave birth to out of her pussy, we saw what her daughter did. Somebody sent me a video of this fool on Mill City talking about some guy. Oh my God, this nigga's such a bitch. Yes, you know, someone tried to unalive my son. He was poisoned. And, it's out there. The information is out there. The medical records and everything is out there. No, it's not. Because if it's medical, it has to be personal. The only one can show that information is you. So he talking that, he ain't learned nothing. He talking that same old flam. Yeah, Shakur, he didn't want to fight us, and we'll beat Abdullah Mason, and, Abdullah, we're fighting for titles and all this stuff there. The same old flam. Scapegoating Oscar and blaming everybody. No, man. I know the real, fam. You don't understand. You don't understand what's going on. And then Mill City just letting the man run them up. Shout out to Mill City. And I get it. Mill City, I met the brother. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. Mill City is more like, I got to, because this guy gets offended very easy. I'm like, man, fuck that nigga. The nigga lied. Everybody know the nigga was lying. Everybody know the nigga was lying. He said he gonna show the receipts. He ain't showing no receipts yet. Now, we're number one in the WBA. We're in line to fight for a title. Guess who got the WBA belt? Tank Davis. Y'all ain't trying to fight no Tank. Everybody know that. So you don't duck Shakur. Now that's a serious ducking right there. That's serious ducking. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. You think that we would do all of that training, spend $100,000 on the training camp? You didn't spend no $100,000 on the training camp. Y'all ain't got that kind of money. So that's a lie. And we're finna get paid our highest payday, $1 million. You think we'll do all that just to duck out? That doesn't make sense. You guys got to use your common sense. No, it make a whole lot of sense. Your daughter don't want to fight Shakur. That's what happened. She backed out. She took some of them Xanax pills that you take for anxiety. You hollering about you got poison. Who poisoned you? Oh, you don't want to say no names now. You such a pathological liar. He didn't want to say nothing bad about Jay Prince. When Jay Prince called him a clown and all that stuff there, he's smart. He's smart by not, being respectful, not saying nothing bad about Jay Prince. He's smart, especially being right there in Texas. It's all smoke and mirrors. These niggas is lying. They weak. They hoes. They ducking smoke. And then the promotion companies and the sanctioning bodies are pulling the strings, making it seem like some of these other fighters are ducking. Again, this what's going on, bro. This is exactly what's going on. I call a spade. I have to. Hey, Pooty say, he's smart not mentioning the mob boss. Hey, look here. Hey, Foodie. Now sources say, once again, I don't know how true this is now, but we listen. Sources say we heard what happened. We heard what Jay Prince and them did to my dog Booger Ray Leonard.
We were at dinner one night, and I got a call that there was a disturbance in my gym, and Floyd apparently had asked us not to do a fight in October, but to do it in December after James Prince's contract with him had run out. So the disturbance in my gym was that some people came over with or without the knowledge of James Prince and proceeded to break a couple of heads of people in Mayweather's camp with baseball bats. And so the gym was splattered with blood. And Floyd came to my office the next day and he said, Prince wants his money from the fight that's coming up. So I said to Floyd, fine, if that's what you want, I'll write him a letter of credit. And Floyd said to me, Prince don't do no letters of credit. You better send the cash. So I wrote a check and I made a contract with Prince's lawyer, and he got paid the money that he said he was entitled to as Floyd's manager.
Yeah, so he did the right thing. He was smart. True. He was smart. True. He did the right thing. Yeah, I can't listen. Listen, you know what I mean? I can't even hate on him on that. Cause we saw what happened to my dog Booger Ray. We saw what happened to my dog Booger Ray. Hey, Foodie. Hey, Foodie. We saw. Hey, Foodie, you ought to know what time it is. Foodie, we saw what happened to Booger Ray. Oh my gosh, Floyd, answer the phone. Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute, baby. My phone is right here. Come on, Floyd, don't answer the phone. Wait a minute, baby. It's Leonard. It's Leonard. Okay. Hello. Like I said before. Hello, Floyd. Yes. What is it, Leonard? I'm busy right now. Oh, Floyd, they got me, Floyd. Leonard, what do you mean they got you? It's Jay Prince. They sent goons to Vegas. I was in Top Rank. I was in Top Rank's gym, Floyd. And oh my gosh, they sent goons up here. They beat us with baseball bats, Floyd. Oh my God, Floyd, please come help me. Leonard, it's okay. Just go to the hospital. Floyd, I don't think you understand. They got me in the trunk. It's dark. What do you mean they got you in the trunk? What do you mean? Floyd, they got me in the trunk. They got me hog-tied, and I got duct tape around my mouth. What if you got duct tape around your mouth, Leonard? How are you speaking to me right now? I had to force it off. I had to rub my face on the trunk and get the tape off just so I can talk to you, Floyd. Oh, my God, Floyd, please come get me. What is it, Leonard? What is it, Leonard? They say that you still owe them money from the last fight. Remember, you tried to ditch. You owed Jay Prince money on your last fight, and you rescheduled it to try to get out of the contract. Yes, I remember that. Well, Floyd, I'm telling you, Floyd, they say they're going to take me in the middle of the desert, and they're going to bury me alive, and I'm going to get eaten up by rattlesnakes in Vegas. They got a whole dig for me, Floyd. There's blood everywhere. Please come get me. Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute, Leonard. I'm finna go talk to Bob. Oh, my gosh. Who in the hell is knocking at my door at 3 o'clock in the morning? Oh my gosh. Floyd, what is it? Bob, I need you, baby. Floyd, what you mean you need me? They got Leonard. Who got Leonard? It's Jay Prince. Why does Jay Prince have Leonard Ellaby? Well, Leonard, you remember that fight? Remember I told you I owed Jay Prince money for one more fight? Yes. Well, I fell out with him and I didn't want to pay him, so I got you to reschedule my fight at a later date, outside of the contractual agreement that I had with him. And he said that I still owe him money for one more fight. Well, Floyd, he's right. Oh my gosh, but they got Leonard. They said they're gonna put him in the ditch. Floyd, you don't need Leonard. I do need him. He give Bob massages. He be rubbing my nipples in between corners and biting his bottom lip. I never had anyone look at me so passionately before. Floyd, you have a bunch of women and children. I know. But my kids' mothers, they never looked at me the way Leonard looked at me. We gotta save him. Floyd, he doesn't do anything but give you massages. I know they do. I know he do. But Bob, please, I need him. Floyd, I have plenty of ring girls who can give you massages. If you like your nipples rubbed in between rounds, I have a bunch of women who can do it for you. I know, Bob, but it's not the same. I need Leonard. Please, Bob, please. How much money do you owe him? I owe him $1 million. Floyd, you have enough money to pay Jay Prince. I know, but I don't want to pay him. Look, Bob, please. He says we got 24 hours to wire the money. Don't call the FBI. Don't call the police. Just give him the money. I need Leonard back. Okay, what's Jay Prince's number? Here it goes. Oh, this is some bullshit. God damn, it's too early in the morning for this shit. Oh, Floyd doesn't look like he's gonna answer the phone. Oh, please answer the phone. Hello, Mob Ties, Jay Prince. Hey, Jay, how you doing? This is Bob Aram. Yeah, Bob, what's going on, baby? Hey, look here, I got Floyd right here. He's crying like a bitch. Oh, Jay, please, don't do nothing to Leonard. Jay, listen, he's crying. You can hear him. And listen, they say you got Leonard Ellaby. You got him hog-tied in the trunk, and you're gonna take him to an undisclosed location in the desert and drop him in a hole. Is that true? Look here, man. I don't do no talking on the phone, but Floyd owed me $1 million. It's 1.5 now for the mental stress and anguish. I need to get my money, man. And I need it ASAP. You get what I'm saying? All right, okay, Jay. I pay you. Listen, Jay. I write you a check. I don't do checks. I told you, Bob. He don't do checks. What is it that you want me to do? I'm gonna give you my account number and my routing number. Route that money ASAP. You got 20 minutes to route $1.5 million to my account. Or tell Floyd he'll never see Leonard Ellaby again. Oh my gosh, no, please, Bob, I'll do anything. All right, Jay, what's the account number? It's 700, and the routing number is 855, 00. Okay, all right, I have the money to you. That's what happened. True. So he did the right thing. He did the right thing now. Hey, Foodie, don't get it twisted. He did the right thing by, he was saying the right thing. He did the right thing. He did the right thing. Facts. True. Yeah, he did the right thing now. He did the right thing. Boy, Lord have mercy. Boy, he probably would have been hog-tied. Because, they ain't from Texas. He would have been hog-tied. They send them goons. They send them goons up there. You get what I'm saying? Hey, Lisa, they send them goons up there, boy. Ain't no telling what's going to happen. Mama Hopefield ain't liked by nobody. So it's going to be easy to hide the whole time. You can hold time. You can take some of that weave he got in his hair, take some of that weave he got, and tie him up just with his weave. You get what I'm saying? Because he got that George Jefferson haircut. Nigga looking like the Predator in the front and got them George Jefferson and got them goddamn looking like George Jefferson in the front and the Predator in the back. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is as it relates to that. Hold on. Let me get these super chats. We got some more. Hey, shout out to the Cardenas for becoming a new member, man. Salute to you, fam. And shout out to Ready to Rumble. Jumping out $2 super chat. He say, tell Jerry Duck Nello always been a duck in the front. There go Allie, boy. There go Allie, boy. There go Allie.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, man. So he did the right thing. He did the right thing. You get what I'm saying? He did the right thing. Listen, I can't even get mad at him about that. I don't like the nigga, but I can't get mad at him about that. He did the right thing. He did the right thing. You get what I'm saying? Cause boy, he's showing up, boy. I'm talking about shit. Hey, you know what? Hey, listen. If it wasn't for Bob Arum, hey, Ali, check this out, fam. Boy, if it wasn't for Bob Arum, we probably never would have got this.
Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love you.
Leonard, are you biting your bottom lip? Yes, Floyd, I'm biting my bottom lip, Floyd. Leonard, why are you biting your bottom lip? Why you rubbing my nipples? Floyd, I just don't understand. I'm just so grateful for you, Floyd. You saved my life. My nose was bleeding, my mouth was busted up, and and I'm just saying they were trying to pop my pussy, but you saved me, Floyd. You got in contact with Bob, and you sent the wire the money. You care about me, Floyd. I love you. I just always dare the gratitude to you, Floyd. This is why when I do my job, I do it very well. When I rub you, I just want to make sure that I'm doing a good job, and and I bite my bottom lip because I do it very passionately. True. Oh, goddamn, you got these niggas getting a hog tied. So I get what it is. I get what it is now. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, David Benavidez had them, baby boy. This been a part of the plan. I'm just gonna call it the way I see it. It is what it is. It's part of the plan, dog. All along. Hey, Ali, the old 52 fake out. The double reverse throw. You get what I'm saying? The oldest, hey, Ali, what's the oldest playbook in football? The double reverse? Man, how you fell for the double reverse throw? Hey, no, the flea flicker. hey, Ali, the flea flicker. Man, how y'all fell for the flea flicker, dog? No, man, see what it is, dog. See what it is. See, what he did was he handed the ball to the running back. And the running back, right, like he was going through the two hole. Right? You got the 2-4, you got the even hole, you got the 2-4-6, and then you got the 1-3-5. So he was going through the number 2 hole, going up the middle, you know what I mean? But then he stopped, turned around, and flicked the ball back to the quarterback, and the wide receiver was wide open. You get what I'm saying? So we looking at the old 52 fake out. We thinking the running back finna run up the hole all along. No Diddy, all along. He don't flick the ball back to the quarterback, wide receiver wide open downfield. You get what I'm saying? Wide receiver wide open down. Hey, Mr. G. Hey, wide receiver wide open. Like, damn, how we fell for that one, dog? How we fell for that one? That's the oldest trick in the book. Man, how we fell for that one there, fam? Goddamn, like, I should have known something was up. We've been stopping this nigga the entire game. This nigga got 2 yards rushing. They don't gave him the ball 15 times. He ain't got but 2 yards. So why was we worried about him? Why was we worried about him, trying to stop the run? He ain't been to run the ball all game, and they got this 6'5" wide receiver over here on the outside in single coverage, and he being guarded by a 5'9" defensive back. The free safety and the strong safety don't move up in the box to try to stop the run. And you got a 6'5" wide receiver against a 5'9" defensive back. Don't nobody know. Ain't nobody realize this finna be the flea flicker. Hey, Jamie, the old flea flicker. We sit on YouTube arguing, debating, yelling and screaming. David Benavidez fans going all around the world, yelling and screaming. Yeah, dog, he the Mexican monster, dog. And they ducking him, dog. Everybody scared of him. They saying like booty meat, dog. Trying to tell you, dog. Everybody scared of him. I'm talking about niggas having nightmares about David Benavidez, dog. You know, I'm trying to tell you. Then you got people saying, man, ain't nobody scared of no goddamn David Benavidez. The man ain't even Mexican. He from Guatemala and all that stuff there. And, he don't, that's where the man from. Ain't nobody think about that dude. He ain't no draw. He ain't no cash cow. This man is the unified intern belt champion. So you got the pro David Benavidez fans and the pro Canelo fans arguing, debating for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. All the while, it's the flea flicker. Hey, the old flea flicker. Everybody, the wide receiver. Hey, shout out to Ali Maddox. Dropping that $2 super chat. He said, did they film Booger Ray? He said, did they film Booger in the trunk with Afro beats? Hey, you know what? Nah, hey, Ready to Rumble. They didn't have Afro beats back then. They didn't have Afro beats back then, fam. Hey, look here. Hey, we sitting there falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey, man, shout out to Texas 16 South. Shout out to MB813. Salute, brother. Hey, you get what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this is the oldest chick in the book, man. They sitting around here, man, talking that flim-flam, popping that weed. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? I don't crack the case already. The case is cracked. So now everybody knows, what happened with David Benavidez and the Bivol dropping the belt, Benavidez becoming the email champ. Again, I'm not mad at Dmitry Bivol. I'm not upset with David Benavidez. I'll let y'all have what y'all will with that. I'm looking at Sampson Lewkowicz, and the PBC as a record label staff and as a crew. I ain't really got nothing bad to say about Al Heyman. Al Heyman, ain't nobody seen Al since 1975, so it's kind of hard to say something bad about a man who ain't nobody seen in 20 years. Well, 75, that's more like 4, that's like 50 years. Ain't nobody seen the man in 50 years. So, he's somewhere. He's somewhere. The IRS can't find him. Everybody paying taxes but this nigga. And the IRS can't find him. They're like, yeah, listen. Matter of fact, I'm walking, listen. I'm in the inner city of Tampa, right? I'm walking through the neighborhood. I see posters on the wall, wanted signs by the IRS. It say IRS on top of the poster. There's a picture of Al Heyman from 1975, and it say wanted. Have you seen this guy? If you see him, please call TIPS. The TIPS hotline, 1-800-WHERE's Al. That's 1-800-WHERE's Al. If you find him, let us know. We've been trying to get this nigga to pay taxes for 25 years. We ain't seen him. True. Bob M, 93 years old, said that, yeah, man, I haven't spoken to Al in a long time. Right now, we are dealing with Louis the Cubas right now, and that's just the way Al wants to do it. How do we know that Louis the Cubas and Sampson Lewkowicz and them, how we know they ain't knocked Al off and they buried Al somewhere? I'm just saying, I'm saying this for the revolution. Hey, shout out, hey, Schoolo, I'm saying this for the revolution. Black man to black man. How do we know that Sampson, the white man, and the Cubas, the other white man, how do we know that they ain't knocked Al off and Al hog-tied somewhere, and they don't took over the PBC by force? True. Hey, shout out to Laura Blue, salute, fam. Shout out to LA Shoes. How do we know? Hey, Flex, how do we know that for all we know, Louis the Cubas and Sampson Lewkowicz could have had Al somewhere. They could have duct tape Al. They could have knocked him off. Al might be somewhere stinking somewhere, laid up somewhere, sleeping with the fishes somewhere. And y'all don't find that strange? I can find Elon Musk. I can find Bill Gates. I can find doggone George Soros. I can find doggone what's my main man name? Mark Zuckerberg. I can find what's the dude that own Amazon? What's the dude that own Amazon? You can find all these dudes that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Like literally, you can just walk down the street. You can walk down the street. Hey Zuckerberg, what's up, baby? Let me holler at you. You get hey, what's the dude that own Amazon? What's his name? Yeah, Jeff Bezos. You can talk to Jeff Bezos right now. Jeff baby. What's up, baby? Jeffy baby. Jeffrey, what's up, baby? Yeah, I'm calling him Jeffrey by his mama named him Jeffrey. I'm gonna call him Jeffrey. We can find all these people who have a net worth way more than Al Heyman. Al Heyman ain't got a net worth that much, but we can't find Al Heyman. And guess what? 2 white men are running the PBC. Y'all don't find that strange? I'm just saying, for all my brothers out there, the power to the people, we fighting the revolution. Y'all don't find that strange, fam. We haven't seen Al since 2015, 2017, somewhere around there. We ain't found this man since. Y'all don't think that doggone those 2 white guys, Louis DeCubas and Sampson, they did something to Al? We ain't got no proof that Al is alive. We can find any human being on the planet Earth but Al Heyman. Bob Arum is 93 years old. I ain't talked to Al. Errol Spence ain't talked to Al. Tank Davis ain't talked to Al, man. Coach, you don't know what you talk about. Tank talked to Al all the time. How do you know? You can't prove it. I can prove that Teofimo Lopez talked to Bob Arum. We got video footage of him talking to Bob Arum. As I told y'all, I got $500 for any nigga who can just give me a picture of Al Heyman. I'm tired of using these same pictures from 1972. Anytime I do a show about the PBC or a PBC fighter and I put a picture of Al in there, it's a picture from the 70s. We are in the technological era. When I drive my car, when I drive my car and go through the red light, I see cameras on the lights. I just went to the bank today, went to the ATM. There's cameras on the ATM. When I go to the grocery store to buy food, there's cameras everywhere. Bruh, ain't no camera seen this nigga. Cameras don't see the Nigerian Nightmare. They don't see doggone Melvin Everett. They don't see doggone Miss Black Panther. The camera don't see Skip Sayless. They don't see doggone Nada Great, Flex, Raymond, Ali, doggone Lisa Bells. Cameras have seen James Lee, Rick Timms. Cameras have seen every last one of us, but they ain't find this nigga. You know what, dog? I ain't gonna lie, dog. All jokes aside, I'm starting to think they did something to him. I'm starting to think those 2 white men, I ain't trying to make it a racial thing, but it is what it is. Now, those 2 white men, the Kubas and Sampson, bro, like all of a sudden, listen, I called Bud. Well, I sent him a text message. I said, Bud, have you ever met Al Heyman? He said, no, I ain't never met him. So who you was negotiating with? Because he was saying, yeah, I tried to make the deal with Al, and he was giving me the runaround. who you were dealing with then? Oh man, my lawyer was never. Who your lawyer was negotiating with then? What I'm saying, we only know about Al Heyman in name at this point. In name. You know, hey, listen, this all we know.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman.
We can't find the nigga. So how do we know? Who they say Canelo went to Cleveland and met Al Heyman? I don't believe that. You know what I know why I don't believe that? I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe that. How many promotional companies that has Canelo dealt with since he been in boxing? I'm gonna help y'all out. He's dealt with Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy. That's who built Canelo to the star he is. When he left Golden Boy, well, then they signed the deal with DAZN. Canelo was dealing with DAZN and DAZN. When he left doggone Golden Boy, he stayed with DAZN, but he started working with Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn. So Canelo had pictures with Eddie Hearn. Canelo had pictures with doggone with Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo had pictures with Sam Watson. Canelo have pictures with doggone the Cubas and everybody. Guess what? He ain't got no pictures with Al. True. Why is that? The cash cow in the sport of boxing, one of the highest paid fighters in boxing in North America, and we're in the sport of boxing, and guess what? He ain't got no picture with Al. Errol Spence ain't got no picture with Al. Javante Tate Davis ain't got no picture with Al. The Charlo brothers ain't got no picture with Al. They got a picture with everybody else, but they ain't got no picture with Al. Call Al. Carla, hold on. How can I call Al when can't nobody get in contact with the nigga? So when they say, man, you got to call Al. Well, you know damn well I can't call Al. I ain't got his phone number. I don't know where he at. How we know the two white dudes ain't murked Al and Al buried somewhere and they just took over the company? Y'all don't find that strange? This is the last call. Carla, what's your name when you calling from?
So, Coach, it's Dimitry from Myrtle Beach.
Dimitry, talk to me, brother.
Coach, y'all know what I think I heard now sources say that Ronald Romero is Leonard Ellis' son on Sulaiman, baby mama's son.
And your phone breaking up. Your phone, you got a real bad reception.
Oh, I'll call you back tomorrow.
All right, salute, fam. Yeah, he had went out a little bit. Anyway, man, salute everybody, man. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Hey, Skip Sailors. Hey, look here, bro. I made a valid point tonight. I made a valid point, bro. How do we know that Sampson and the Cubas ain't murked Al? How we know Al's still alive? They might have knocked him off. They might have Al in the bottom of the ocean with cement shoes, and they don't took over the PBC. We have no proof that that's not what happened. Oh, I'm just gonna talk to my front men. You know, you got to deal with them. Why? Well, you just got to deal with the Cubas and scams. So why is that? Why we just got to deal with them? They don't own PBC. Al Haymon own PBC, right? Man, shit, nigga, man, hey, man, nigga, please. Yes, hey, boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Listen, boy. So listen, boy, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. But something ain't right about this here, bro. Something ain't right about this.
Hurting the group. I'm the best thing ever happened to this damn group.
Nobody's bigger than the group.
Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Ain't no YouTube channel ask these questions like I'm asking them. Boston Boys ain't asking these questions. Shout out to Ness. Nothing. Mill City, Cigar Talk. Ain't none of these channels asking the question I ask. Like I'm asking them, I'm like, hold on, man, y'all ain't worried about that? Listen, that's our brother. We want to find out, but we got to make sure that our brother, Al Haymon, we doing skin color politics right now. We want to make sure our brother's still alive. How these two white dudes just all of a sudden just took over power of the PBC? All negotiations got to go through them. And listen, according to them, they say, look, man, you got to go through us. Well, okay, can we confirm that? No, just take our word for it. What, they don't muscle the PBC? They don't muscle Al from the PBC? That's too much secrecy. They act like this nigga a mob boss. They act like he Daniel Cunningham. I can see, no, Daniel Cunningham. I can see Daniel Cunningham, he the mob boss. Well, they say he the mob boss. Daniel, I don't want no smoke, dog. I heard you got long tentacles, you know what I mean? I don't want no smoke. According to sources, they say you the mob boss from Ireland, and the FBI is looking for you right now. They can't find you. So I can see why y'all can't find Daniel. And guess what? Guess what? Daniel Cunningham is on the run right now, and I just seen a picture of the nigga from last week. Swimming in Dubai somewhere in the ocean. And he wanted by the law. He's an international criminal. And he wanted, and we got recent pictures of him, but we can't find Al. So it's one of two things happening. Either Al Haymon got a warrant for his arrest, or Al Haymon has been offed by the Cubas and Sampson, and they have taken over the PBC, and they telling everybody that everything got to go through them. And they but one of two things don't happen. Let's give everybody a round of applause. True. Yeah. Shout out to Rocky Marciano.
What about Rocky Marciano?
Oh, there they go. Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. That's the they one. That's they one. Rocky Mountain, Rocky Mountain. Let me tell you something wonderful. Rocky Mountain was good, but compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Mountain ain't shit.
He beat Joe Louis's ass.
I'm like, man, these are legitimate questions. Canelo got pictures with everybody he done business with. Why he ain't got no picture with Al Heyman? And we can't confirm any of this stuff because doggone, when we want to find Al, we got to hear from the white guys. Yeah, man, everything go through us now. They could have offed Al. Man, listen. Let's say a special prayer for Al Heyman.
And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Lord.
Hey, man, shout out to Moeezy. Shout out to Native Great. It is what it is. Sir, can you please tell me where Al Heyman at? Because we need to make sure that these white men who say they run into PBC now, who say everything got to go through them, Louis Dekuwas and Sampson Lewkowicz, we can't take their word for it. Can you please lead us in the right direction?
We must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate, to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation.
Hey, doggone, the Martin say, what'd you say, Martin? He said Louis Dekuwas and Tom Brown got those scamps in there too. He said they did Al like him and Richard Schaefer did Oscar De La Hoya. The only difference is at least we still see Oscar De La Hoya. We still see Oscar De La Hoya. We ain't seen Al in 10 years, dog. 10 years? How you the CEO of a company? How you the CEO of Death Row? That's like being the CEO of Death Row in his heyday, but you can't find Suge Knight. That's like being the CEO of Bad Boy, but you can't find Puff Daddy. That's like being the CEO of Def Jam, but you can't find Russell Simmons. That's like being the CEO of Microsoft, but you can't find Bill Gates. That's like being the president of the United States, but you can't find the president. I was just saying, man, where the president at? Yeah, dog, no, everything good, president good, dog, just everything going through me now, everything going through me. I'm signing this bill right here. Yeah, man, but the president, what about the president? Yeah, don't worry, you asking too many questions now. Don't worry about where the president at. Just listen, just take what we give you. Believe what we telling you, baby boy. You dig?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question. Did you? 5.
Yeah, man, that shit's strange.
Now, I am the #1 contender. I'm tired of James the Poodle, Grim Reaper, whatever you want to call himself, ducking me. All right, I'm tired of man driving around town in 8 Rolls Royces. He ain't fought nobody. I'm still in a Broham.
You know what I'm going to do? Listen, I got to find my good brother Al Heyman. I'm tired of hearing these lies from these white guys who say who running the PBC right now, Louis Dekuwas and doggone Tom Brown and Sampson Lewkowicz. I need to get some real goons on the job. We need to find my brother, my black brother, Al Heyman, because I believe something nefarious is going on. The white man has plotted against my brother. I think my brother might not be alive anymore, and we need to find out where he at so we can check on his well-being. I'm finna send to the professionals.
Gloria Day and the Set Trips.
These niggas don't play. These niggas don't play. We don't play. You ain't heard. They be tripping. We be tripping. So they swerving on. We swerve on. No faking and no snitching. Repping hard for the set. Oh, mamas, it ain't no lie. Because niggas gonna bust. Niggas gonna bust.
Yeah, we gonna bust by hour. We finna bust by hour. Something ain't right. Right now, I'm on the case. I'm finna ask some real questions. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about calling the police department in Cleveland. I'm gonna say, sir, look here, man. My and this Coach Malachi got a podcast on YouTube. Look here, man. I'm investigating a potential crime. There's a guy by the name of Al Heyman. They call him Al Heyman. He's the owner of the PBC, and he hasn't been seen in public in 10 years. So we're trying to figure out, right now there's currently, two white guys who all deals and negotiations go through. We just want to confirm, is he still alive? Has he been offed, or has anybody reported him missing? His family is looking for him, I'm hearing. You get what I'm saying? So we need to find out. I just want to make sure that my black brother is safe, because I don't trust these white guys. Sampson looked like, he looked like Count Dracula, the Kubas, Tom Brown. Something ain't right. Something ain't right about this here. All I need y'all to do, just find out. Just find out. I don't know. We need to break Big U out of jail and see can Big U get on the case or whatever. I don't know, but we need to do something, fam. Cause right now this ain't adding up.
Well, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? But a name. Do you have a name? Oh, nah, I ain't got no name,
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. Them names need to be named.
They know who they is.
Yeah, man. Hey, bro. All I'm saying, dog. It is what it is, man. Shout out to the tenderonis and PYTs and the honey dips. And it is what it is. Again, like I said before, and shout out to the snow bunny.
See your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter lights, too, she's my sweet dust of free. Track to my nose, this lover's got it so raw. Make you goose, stepping out of control.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to put the Prince of Pan-Africanism on the case, man. We gotta find the Prince of Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Shout out to the face of Boston.
Hey. Yeah. Oh, that look good.
Also, we did this for the hood. Y'all know what time of TI is, but we got to give a shout out to the Cash App. Listen, man, and listen, shout out to Mike from Bridgeport. Okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, please, please. Al Heyman, we Al Heyman fighters. Yeah. Y'all ain't Al Heyman fighters no more. Y'all Sampson Lewkowicz, Louis the Coopers, and Tom Brown fighters now. Y'all ain't seen Al Heyman. You dig? I'm gonna give everybody a shout out after these messages. Hey, all jokes aside, I'm going to Cleveland this year. I promise I'm going to Cleveland this year. I got something set up in Cleveland. When I get to Cleveland, dog, I'm asking some questions. I look here, dog. Listen, I'm gonna hook up with my family in Cleveland. You know what I mean? Look here, man. Check this out, big boy. Look here, I'm looking for Al. Where's Al? I'm looking for him, dog. Rick Glazer say he be at a certain church every Sunday. I'm gonna go to that church. I'm gonna stay in Cleveland till that Monday. I'm gonna find out what church he go to, and I'm gonna go to that church. And guess what? And if I see him in the church, hey, shout out to Trey Hassan. Salute to you, fam. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam to you, my brother. Hey, look here, check this out. And when I go to that church, I'm gonna take a picture of him. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna go to that church where Al Heyman be at. I'm gonna say, oh, that's the nigga right there. Okay, oh shit, I got his ass now. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna be at church with Al. I'm gonna act like I'm catching the Holy Ghost. And then they say, you know, snap. I'm gonna pull out this goddamn iPhone 14 Pro. I'm gonna pull out this. Yeah, snap. I got him. True. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got him, dog. He alive, y'all. He alive. I confirmed it. I saw the nigga at church. You know, he was getting baptized. He was talking to Deacon Johnson. Deacon Johnson was up there. Mother Moreland was up there. Doggone Reverend Pope Chop was up there. I went up there. I caught the Holy Ghost. I was shaking and trembling. You get what I'm saying? Really, I wasn't that wrong with me, but I fake like I'm shaking the Holy Ghost. And I said, I got to get a picture because I got to show my fans, I got to show my audience that this nigga's still alive. Because a lot of the PBC fighters ain't seen him. So I was like, yeah, he's still alive, dog. I saw him. I was at the church. with him. You get what I'm saying? We were breaking bread together. He got baptized. I got baptized. He caught the Holy Ghost. I caught the Holy Ghost. You get what I'm saying? He said hallelujah. I said hallelujah. You know what I mean? He said thank you, Jesus. I said thank you, Jesus. You get what I'm saying? That's exactly what we did. Shout out to Nay. Miss Black Panther. Summer in November. Shout out to Tila. Shout out to School of X-Man. John. Jamie from New York. Shout out to Trey Hassan. Salute to you, fam. Flex BK. What's going on, fam? Summer in November. Shout out to Tim's in the hoodies. Dog Man. Javier Valencia. NPR. SP Got Beats. Shout out to Raul Rod. It is what it is. It is. Listen, it is what it is. Shout out to who else we got in the building? Shout out to Nate the Great. My sister Lisa Bells. Superman flying through the save today. Schoolo. Shout out to Rick Tim. Shout out to James Lee. Dog Man in the building. AJ, Schoolo X-Man. Shout out to Mr. Corey Bradley. Shout out to who else we got in the building? Texas 16 South. The Martin 9400. All boys to the side, dog. I'm curious to the motherfucker, man. Shit, if I don't go to Cleveland for nothing else, I'm going for that. I'm gonna call Rick Glazer. I'm gonna say, Rick, what church he be at? Well, I think they say he be at the 2nd Baptist Church, right next to 3rd Baptist Church. I'm gonna say, you sure? Yeah, it's a church he been going to there for years. He there every Sunday. All right, cool. I'm gonna pull up. Yeah, you know what I'm about to do? I'm gonna buy some spy gear. I'm gonna have my cell phone with me, right? Cause I'm gonna try to snap that picture. But I'm gonna have some spy gear on my shirt. You know what I mean? Like if I walk in front of him. You know, let's say he got some goons around him. They take the phone from me. I'm gonna have a camera. I'm gonna have a camera like a lapel camera on my suit. So when I walk up and I see him, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have that lapel camera on there just in case. Just in case. Now, if I go to that church, he ain't there. I'm gonna tell y'all, the man sleeping with the fishes. The 2 white men, Sampson Lewkowicz, Tom Brown, and the Coopers, the 3 white men. I said, man, they don't got rid of our dog, Al Heyman. They hiding him right now. He ain't alive no more, dog. It is what it is, dog. We got to call the police. True. We got to call the feds, dog. Well, let's get listen, FBI. Look at, man, we looking for our brother, man. You know, he means a lot to the black community. We haven't seen him. He gives us hope and inspiration. We got these 2 white dudes who say they running the PBC right now. We ain't seen the brother, man. Sam Watson over there too. We don't know what Sam in on it. We don't know what Sam no betrayed Al. We don't know if he in on it or not. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? I would hate to believe that Sam Watson in on it. I don't want to believe that. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But them other 3 white dudes, I don't trust them. True. It is what it is, man. Shout out to Kermit Williams, man. Shout out to Tila. Shout out to JC. Shout out to Lisa Bells, Miss Black Panther. I catch you guys on the next one. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace. Hey, man, we looking for Al Heyman. Have you seen him?
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.